No!
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
It's not.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
El tipo rotate into mid. They don't want to lose their mid tower. Or priority will be.
Pipe is pretty freaking good this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of random magic damage, and it's a great way of keeping your spiders alive during fights.
Yep, as he is taking control of the bottom lane. I mean, that's the one thing about transitioning out of this lane against the Brute. He'll just take over, which he has done already.
Has to be so careful with showing on the lane, though. He's actually showing his hero, and that means he's opening himself up to being charged at any point.
Yep, all they need is a little bit of vision here, as a couple members of ASTER in the cover of smoke, Zai in the trees, but his spidey senses are tingling for once that actually
Quite
makes
literally.
sense. Yep. Looks like he'll be okay, so a little bit of wasted time, although I have an idea that he's in the area
wasted,
here.
though.
Pops. Oh, Crystal Nova just off. Actually did connect, and now they have the vision. There's the charge from Baboka. In comes XSS as well. And that is a big kill onto Zai. It took some time, but it worked out, and now XXX can just go back to where he came from.
This is a pretty cool duo of heroes that we like never see played. The Spirit Breaker plus Underlord combo. You charge someone, you Fiend's Gate in, and Spirit Breaker has that natural follow-up that he needs. This hero's, one of its weaknesses, even though it's one of the best roamers in the game, is that it doesn't really solo kill very well. But, you know, if you have something like Underlord connecting or Sunstrike, like whatever it is at your disposal, then situations can suddenly look quite promising. Baboka with a charge, no rune here.
Moxie is here. Nice pit of Malice though, but the dispose keeps XXS at bay. Already at half HP, and in comes the Lich as well. But look, 4 members of ASTER are continuing on here as Insania gets off his Chain Frost. Looks like he will drop in the end as Matu has finally come to play, but the Laguna Blade on top of the Rupture is enough to find himself a kill. Now the focus is onto Baboka, but the Sniper's going to get the brunt of the damage as Boxy gets the stun off, and Baboka will be next. Big turnaround here for Liquid. Great transition from Matu.
And they make sure to bring the numbers there. Matsu coming in, Lina with the double damage. It's just too overwhelming. And Money,
Radiant's
would have
middle
probably been
tower
wise
is
to not
under
get
attack.
involved there. You can understand why he's trying to help out his
Radiant
teammates, but
structures are
Boxy isolates him with the rebound, dispose combo, and once Sniper is repositioned, he's not getting out of there. Does not have any way of repositioning himself for now. Wonder if he's going to buy a shard later to try to help with that, but for now, obviously going a pretty standard route, Mask of Madness to Wraithbands and Treads, eyeing up the Dragonlance, Pike, another way to reposition, of course. And he should need it this game. You got to be feeling really good if you're Liquid with that exchange, though.
Yep, absolutely. The lead has slipped into their side, just barely though. As we get in, we're gonna rehash this conversation again, Cinder. You know where I'm going with this, I'm sure, but
Tier 5 neutral.
the old Roshan.
Oh.
As we're gonna see another strike onto Insania. Ori is in the area, gets off the Lightning Storm. But the Frost Shield ends up mitigating a bit of damage here and forces the rest of ASTER away, as this is taking just too long. They get a high five for their efforts. Which team would you say has the advantage in the Roche pit for both killing and fighting in the area?
I guess for killing, I would imagine Liquid does it maybe a little bit faster. It's kind of close.
After the Underlord, okay?
Yeah. I have a jump in 2 here. I think we can fight. I'm really sure.
Sniper! Fuck yeah, let's go!
All right, that was an Eternal Envy type showdown. That was nice.
They got done with their Naruto episode and now they're playing. So good to see.
Indeed. Anyway, you were saying about Roshan, Cinder.
Yeah, so I think overall, I guess the Dire,
Are scanning.
depending on, I guess it's
Radiant
level
are
1 side pick.
scanning.
It's kind of hard to say who's faster at it. I do like Aster's chances of fighting in the area in general, though. Underlord, Lesh, and Spirit
Dire's
Breaker, as
top
well as
tower
Shrapnel
is under
level 4,
attack.
is very, very good in that area. But I think neither team has any interest in even thinking about Roche for quite a while. Neither lineup's particularly good at it. There's a lot of risk involved. Boxy, we'll get charged.
Charge in the top lane next to the tier 2, but the Frost Shield comes out again. Chain Frost not really bouncing, but finally does off of the creeps, and that is going to cause Ori to drop. But Boca gets disposed. TP canceled. Second kill for Liquid. A big punish in this top lane. That Frost Shield has been kind of pretty annoying for Aster to get through.
Yeah, they chose to go for that with 5-second cooldown another strike. They didn't have Spirit Breaker ult,
Radiant's
so
middle tower
missing
has
that
been
component, but
denied.
also Liquid seemed like they just read that play like a book, you know. Mickey was in position immediately, getting that counterplay. Nicely done from them. They get those two. Mickey now rocking a BKB. Is very ready to fight. Liquid actually hitting a strong time here. And
The Horsey is there. He gets stunned and brought down. Huge kill for Liquid, but XXS has come to play with his ult. Gets off the nice Pit of Malice and Firestorm. Insania looks to be the sacrifice at the very least, but Mickey and Matu want to continue to fight potentially. They're going to try to focus onto the Crystal Maiden, and a nice stun from Boxy onto 2 heroes with Mickey's LSA to follow. 4 dead for Aster, and Liquid, I mean, they got the big kill to start, and Aster still wanted to fight, and they get punished.
Yeah, just Lesh didn't get to play his hero there. Got chain stun completely, rebound into the LSA, took the full burst there from Mickey, and they get that job done easily. You're gonna see on the replay here, so really nice way to open this with Boxy getting the rebound. They kill the sniper before any assistance arrives. As XXS comes in and does kill off the Lich, it's a pretty small consolation prize. Nice fear here, by the way, from Insania.
And Boxy stun coming up soon.
Yep.
Which absolutely destroyed.
Perfect.
My
Triple
God.
stun into double stun.
And that was the Bloodstone reveal as well on the Lesh, and it just gets destroyed. Not literally, not a Kyle. But Baboka now in the bot lane. He's going for the Shadow Blade. As Zai, again, he's just been chilling in the bot lane. He's close to finishing his pipe, and we talked about the amount of magic damage that Aster has. That is going to be a huge pickup for them.
It seems like the play call here from Liquid is just leave Zai alone. Let him do whatever he wants. He needs to get that item before he really offers teamfight impact. Curious to see what the idea is now. It's coming out. Are you going to see a bigger rotation? Are we looking at a bottom tier 2 tower? Are we looking at a potential rotation into killing a hero mid and then getting Roche? There's plenty of options for Liquid here with the game state they have set themselves up for. And I'm mean, essentially, if Zai doesn't have to join, why would he, right? He can also just keep farming down here and keeping a Pestilence, forcing heroes to rotate down here and defend, putting pressure on the tower, and just farming up, get toward his next item. Maybe an Axe could be on the menu. Extremely annoying item to play Spirit Breaker against, the Brood Axe. So definitely could be something he's considering.
And Liquid want to keep up the aggression. Mickey now, or the BKB from Matu. So 2 BKBs on the side of Liquid. And they are definitely ready to fight as the tier 2 tower will take a little bit of damage, but XXS is going to show himself with the Firestorm, but Liquid want to kind of reset here. One thing we didn't really talk about is the fact that these two obviously face in the upper bracket, and we've seen it so many times. The upper bracket team that wins, that faces the team again in the lower bracket. The lower bracket team ends up learning more about that matchup overall, and they got to see Tundra beat Aster as well. But potentially that's what we're seeing here right now. But standing onto the high ground, he is so tanky at half HP, but he'll be the sacrifice. As it looks like it's going to be a trade for the position 5s. Nice freezing kill coming out, but it only delays the inevitable.
Oh, they ruptured Lesh.
Yep, he gets his Bloodstone off just in time as Matu pops the BKB, but the Lesh is dead. Laguna Blade into the grave, and Baboka getting chased, but a nice Pit of Malice keeping Boxy and company in this area. But the Dispose comes down on Baboka, but he does have the status resistance and gets the charge off. That right click is coming for him. Is that enough? It doesn't look like it. He shall live.
What an amazing escape from Baboka there, turning around to dodge the stun and then finding the charge through everyone to survive. I definitely had him expected dead there, but he gets out of there. Still, the big kill for Liquid is the Lesh. They keep finding him every fight. Zai, okay.
Yep, he's here all alone. Insania on the outskirts, but the Assassinate is coming, and that's not going to help you there. So Monet getting a nice pickup for himself as he's kind of struggling. He's middle of the pack in terms of net worth, and this is a hero that you do not want in that area. I mean, how much of a comeback mechanic do you have on this hero, would you feel, based on the items that he's going for? Because he has Mask of Madness, Dragonlance, he's going for Hurricane Pike, so it feels like more mobility / utility than damage.
I guess with this build, you definitely do farm slower than if you had, say, Mom Maelstrom, but you probably just have to get the Pike at this time. If you go Mask Maelstrom, it's gonna take too long before you have the essential items to be any sort of presence in a team fight. And skirmishes, this is also a pretty good single target damage build, right? You have a long range, obviously you can activate the take aim for the guaranteed headshots, which by the way are only level 2 on Monet currently, so his damage will ramp up significantly when he levels up to 13, 14.
Oh, Matu getting charged, and there's a Fiend's Gate here as well. He pops the BKB, but still gets stunned. That is 4 members of Aster, and that is a nice pickup for them. Very nice team play, and now, I mean, the Fiend's Gate is so cool, but Mickey, he's in the area. He's in Viz right now. Oh, the Alisei does not connect, but they still get the stun. Laguna Blade to follow, but the Bloodstone healing up a decent amount. The BKB popped by Mickey, and that is enough to take out Ori again. He's left by his team via the Fiend's Gate, and Liquid taking full advantage.
Yeah, that missed stun from Mickey ends up costing him a BKB charge, but still well worth it. You're happy to get that kill. And probably the bottom tier 2 tower. I don't think you have a chance of defending this as Aster. Well, maybe they are going to try. XXS.
Finally comes out. It's only going to connect a couple times, but Mickey looks to be mega dead, and Zai and company have to get the hell out of here. Insania is successful, but Zai inside the Pit of Malice charged up, and it looks like he's going to be brought down as well. So Aster successfully defend the tier 2 tower.
It seems like Liquid had the same expectation that I did, that tower was just going to be given to them with a dead Lesh, but the crucial part in all of this is that Mickey with the missed stun ends up using the BKB on the first kill, and Aster are like, wait a minute, can't we just go on this guy and kill him with Spirit Breaker and Underlord? And they could. There wasn't enough protection there. I don't think there was a defensive dispose from Boxy to try to reposition and keep him alive. And that's huge for Aster.
Yeah, we have a rupture onto XXS, but the rest of his team is coming. A nice charge onto 2, but the Blood Right does connect. Silence that Space Cow. But Boxy just getting right click from afar. And Matu, despite having the BKB, does have the move speed to get away. And no range for the Assassinate, or no vision for the Assassinate.
If they had any way of getting vision, that could have been so much bigger for Aster, but they're very, very happy with this for sure. The game was starting to look a little bit scary for a while with the control Liquid were getting, but...
Yeah, and the first Roche attempt is here. Aster know that they're in a 5v4 situation.
No BKB on Matumba either.
Yeah.
Bloodseeker is just not a very good hero in this time in the game when you don't have that BKB. It's so hard to run in and do anything. You can just get turned on and blasted. So as it looks, Liquid, I think they really want to try to poke at this, but it's just really difficult. They don't know the exact timing either. Every spider's been killed outside the pit.
Yeah. Looks like Monet will get the Aegis. Not putting on the Lesh. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's good on both. A lot of the time we do see it on Lesh because you get so much value from getting the full mana refill when you die as well, but maybe the logic is Lesh is less susceptible to dying straight away. He has more health, he has the Bloodstone, whereas if Monet gets jumped, he can just die instantly. And this way you also maybe open up a little bit more for the potential of poking top tier 2 tower with just the Sniper. Lesh needs to go closer and expose himself to do that. Sniper can just safely take it from range, and if you do try to jump on him with your Marcy combination with Lina, you know he has that second life you have to worry about.
Both those cores have 4 deaths each for Monet and Ori, but they've kind of brought this game back, Cinder, and this is net worth-wise very even, and obviously with the Aegis, it's going to help them potentially extend that just a bit, as the tier 2 tower is not being defended yet.
And I think it is worth keeping in mind for a game like this that a lot of the expectation of how the game goes kind of rides or dies with Brood, right? And Zai's impact, aside from, you know, pushing out this bottom lane, being there, has not felt like Brood has been a first phase hero, right? Or arguably it has, because ASTER solved it so well. A lot of Liquid's Brood game wins, they would be in a much better position than this now. And I think even in an even game state like this in terms of gold, the Radiant lineup is having a pretty solid time scaling late game. I think a lot of what Brood offers becomes less and less important against this lineup. Whereas ASTER's lineup is just going to scale to the moon, right? Sniper, Underlord, Lesh, Tricore.
That is true. Raid Pack has been there for a little bit on the Underlord, as we see a full smoke here from ASTER. And we can see that they trying to go into the enemy triangle is the question. As a force staff picked up from Mickey, actually, so he's going the full Hurricane Pike as well.
He sold it again.
Did he?
Yep. Oh, changed his mind for now. He's still... Oh, he's changing over to Silver Edge. Okay, so I guess he wants the break for Atrophy Aura. And they need some more damage.
He's going to get spotted, charge, right clicks, dead. Easy kill for ASTER. See if they go for this tier 2 tower bottom now that they have the top. Or if they're just happy to farm away. I mean, how important is it for ASTER to use this Aegis in an effective way? Or are they fine just farming? Like you said, they do technically scale better.
Yeah, I think they're fine farming, but I wouldn't mind seeing them trying to use this Aegis for another tier 2 tower. Probably mid is the most accessible one for them right now, because I think Brood really thrives in the bottom tower area. There's so many trees, so many angles you can find there. It's going to be annoying for the support. But
he changed his mind again. He went Hurricane.
Oh, he changed again. All right. Well, maybe the gold lined up nice.
Liquid
are not too phased by the Aegis, though. They're still going to look to cross the river and maybe make an aggressive move. They do have a double damage on Mickey, which would be really nice for them to put to use. But Boka will push out that wave and reposition himself. It looks like ASTER are aware that Liquid have some big plan here. Ori also farming very defensively over on the ancient side, making sure to stay all the way left to not get caught. And this move from Liquid will bear fruit in the sense they get some good aggressive wards out. You see they get the good ward over at the Radiant Triangle, and they get a good ward down in mid, so definitely looking for some sort of catch against the Aegis team at some point in the near future. But it looks like they'll have to settle for Mickey just, you know, 10-shotting the top tier 1 tower casually with sidekick and double damage. Packing 400 damage with that per hit.
Not bad.
But now it's run out. And ASTER will opt for the bottom tower rather than the mid one. This was the one they had the option to access. I think they would have been happy to take mid, but that's where Liquid were grouped up and covering the lane. So they will settle for a trade in the off lanes.
They will get it successfully. So 2k lead for ASTER is the Aegis.
Okay.
It's expiring in 40 seconds.
Yeah. They will knock on the high ground though. Sniper very good at this. Obviously, massive range. The only repositioning tool Liquid have is, aside from an offensive pike from Mickey, which is probably a bit naive to think it's going to happen, you have level 2 disposed. So he's feeling pretty damn safe standing down here hitting this tower. And just keep throwing out one shrapnel if he wants to hit it some more. There we go. It's going to keep poking at it.
Now pop the Madness.
Sending in
The
Ori.
defense is coming for Liquid. Ori up in front. He's going to get ruptured. Pops the BKB. That's not going to do too much for him. But he's kept himself away far enough as the Aegis is expiring in 3 seconds. Trying to get through the Fiend's Gate. He does so successfully. And ASTER retreat. In part. Still a couple members here.
Yep.
And Ori can just refill and, oh, okay, does not want to take the Fiend's Gate. Wants to farm up mid.
I'm surprised Ori went in an edict at that tower. I think letting Sniper just keep doing his thing was pretty good. It only cost him a BKB charge, which isn't the end of the world. And I guess he did force the glyph, so maybe it's okay. But if Liquid find a move off it, the story will be very, very different. Ori is going to walk straight into Matu.
Laguna Blade, but no LSA connection, but they still find the Crystal Maiden nonetheless. The right clicks are way too much. BKB already popped by Matu as they find the kill onto Ori. So 3 dead overall, the complete segregation of that fight, but Liquid coming out way on top.
Yeah, so what ends up happening there is Lesh has BKB cooldown from bottom, and he's walking in the mid lane together with Spirit Breaker. I think a pretty crucial mistake there from ASTER, actually. The 2 heroes were even stacking up, so they got chain stunned and didn't get a charge off to try to protect Ori. He just walked straight into Matu, got ruptured and killed, or actually didn't even rupture, I think. They just hit him. He couldn't get away anyway without the BKB.
Zai able to clean up to tier 2 mid.
That is a huge swing for Liquid.
And we won't know for the next Roche for another minute 40, but that is going to be an extremely important factor in this game, as it usually is. But looking at Ori's item progression, obviously they had the Bloodstone for a long time. BKB is on 8 seconds. He's only used it once, surprisingly.
Yep.
Has the casual plate mail, and I would assume an eventual Shiva's, but still going for his boots of travel. I mean, his farm for a Lesh is not very good this game.
No, I think he's had a couple of times maybe pushing one wave too many, and Liquid have done a really good job punishing him overall. The 5 deaths on the Lesh is a major setback. You compare that to Mickey on the Lina with only 2. Has a 50 CS advantage because of this. The thing I wonder here for Ori is if Travels is actually the right choice, because you're obviously playing against Rupture, right? So having extra mobility in the fight isn't necessarily going to translate to more safety or more damage. Whereas having items where you can just stand your ground and survive longer, like you said, the Shiva or something to that effect, could be an interesting choice. But maybe even Ags could be a thing this game. You're against Brood, Bloodseeker, and an attack damage Lina build.
Nihilism.
I think Nihilism could be interesting, but well, for now it is going to be the Travels. And obviously it depends whether the flow of the game will turn into a little bit more of a stalemate where the teams are just pushing out waves and farming, because then Travels are obviously great. But if we have a key fight coming up sometime soon, this might not be the best allocation of net worth that Ori can have at this point in time. Getting those Travels up. Roche will be known to us now. It's a long respawn.
Yes.
233. Will be quite a while before ASTER potentially get their hands on that. And I do say ASTER because they are controlling the area for now, and they did get the first one. There's no saying that Liquid can't make a team move in there and contest it.
Yeah, Matu has his Mjolnir now. Zai has had the Wraith Pact pipe
the Ags
and is
coming
going
up.
for Aghanim Scepter. Spinner Snare, really.
Yeah, it is very good, this Ags. When you're playing a Brood role where you don't have to deal very much damage, this Ags is just incredible for map control.
Smoke up, but they see Boxy. They're going to start charging him next to Liquid's outpost, technically in control of ASTER right now. The charge is there, but the Frost is going to keep him healthy for the time being. Ori, though, and Baboka end up taking him out with the help of Monet. Just like that, it's a 5v4, but BKB already popped by XXS as they find Zai in the trees, but the charge onto Matu. See who they try to focus here. Firestorm doing a lot of percentage-based damage. Lich ult coming out, but it's only going to bounce once as Zai just gets cleaned up. Double kill for Monet as the Fiend Gate's back to the fountain. They can just refresh and rejoin this fight as Insania looks to be next. 3 dead for Liquid. And ASTER looking very good now, but like you said, Roche is not going to be up for another minute, so they can't take advantage of that.
Definitely consider themselves lucky that this isn't up, because this would have been an easy collateral for ASTER. Ward would have forced 2 buybacks out of Liquid, but yeah, just a very different fight in terms of positioning here, right? So you get the charge onto the Marcy, so she doesn't get to play the fight at all. Ori gets ruptured, they get this Marcy kill, they run back, and then they zone control. Underlord is creating tons of space by just running in with a Pit of Malice and just frontlining. Sniper is keeping them at bay with shrapnels. There's the Crystal Maiden ult coming up. It's just too difficult for Liquid to re-engage here. A nicely played fight here from Aster will secure themselves a good position in the game once again. And the control of the pit, 30-second respawn on that. Both teams will want to get access to this. This is the second Roche, so will come with a little bit of a bonus.
And Mickey has the data list, so he will start to hurt. He's opting to go for a Lincoln Sphere as the next item.
Okay, that's I like that approach too. You know, you're feeling a lot safer against the Rupture. You get yourself that freedom of movement.
Well, the Rupture's on his team.
Oh, I was looking at the Lesh. He's also going Link.
Oh, yeah, that one makes sense. I'm trying to figure out this.
Everybody gets a Link.
The charge is very annoying.
Yeah, that's true.
And the only way to take full advantage of that, if you're the Spirit Breaker, is to get an Ags, which he is going for. So the Lincolns won't be that big of a deal at that point.
Aster,
So we have a smoke now from Liquid.
Aster poked the Roche and went out. They feel like Liquid are going to come contest this, and they are very right. The top lane is all the way in the tier 3 tower, and no one from Liquid's defending. This is a dead giveaway that Liquid are up to something here.
And Roche has
Aster
a
will do
low.
the same.
Are scanning.
Baboka is terrifying with that Shadow Blade that he's had for a while. If they get vision on anyone, they could just get stunned out of nowhere on Liquid's side with very minimal defense, except like we talked about the Frost Shield, but doesn't really save you from this Radiant lineup very well.
Yep, Ori used his Bloodstone thinking that he was going to get jumped, so another 15-second cooldown on that.
Success. We'll find the ward.
And very tense as both teams know that Roche is up.
With the gem, knows that Liquid have vision here. Obviously not going to go for the D-ward. Way too risky. He could get jumped by Marcy and just blasted there. So gets the information, gets back. They have Boboka clean up mid with a charge. Next wave will now be cut by Boboka as well. Going to clean this up out of the Shadow Blade, just killing all of those spiders in one charge.
Yeah, ever since they changed
really good.
his bash to do that much damage to creeps.
Yeah.
Very even better counter.
I think this is the most CS I've seen a Spirit Breaker have been at 34 since Xiao 8 played at mid. That's what spiders will do for you.
That is true. I mean, he's halfway to his Ags, and that thing is crazy how good.
Yep.
Invisibility.
Still posturing on the other side of the map. No one quite ready to fight, knowing that this Roche could potentially decide the game. I mean, it's a little early to call that, but
There's a very good chance that
the win percentage with second Roche has got to be really high for the team that gets it. As look how close this game was.
Yeah.
68% for Aster. Do you feel that? Watching this right now as the Rupture onto Ori, gets disposed. Ori at half HP, he's gonna get bashed out as a Mount2, trying to right-click his way. Bloodstone's not gonna be enough. A 1-for-1, but it's a support for a mid. And Liquid trying to reset. Now the Boxy is on relatively low HP, disposed onto Mount2 with the rebound movement speed buff as well. They're able to reset completely.
The buyback from Insania, a 5v4 situation effectively here. Lesh has buyback too, but no BKB ready, so if he connects, he has to be careful. The trade-off here, of course, Liquid using 2 of theirs, Marcy and Bloodseeker with a minute cooldown, and Aster are actually confident that this is enough for them to contest the pit. They know they can buy back their Lesh. What can he travel on? They have the outpost too, so the connection point is there.
Monet double damage as well. McKay inside the Pit of Malice gets Force Staff to safety, but they're gonna find a Space Cow first. Laguna Blade onto XXS. A nice Chain Frost bouncing as XXS still has the BKB activated. Siamese Cat looks to be next on the list, but double buybacks now from Aster, and they can reconnect relatively quickly, especially once to put a Fiend's Gate there. Still 5v5, but that is several buybacks from Aster. But like you said, the BKB is very important for Liquid to charge on to Mickey, but the Frost Shield is going to get a lot of his physical damage. Boxy's going to be dead, trying to help his teammate, and Mickey pops the BKB, trying to get the dieback onto Ori. He's at half HP, but the Bloodstone healing up to a high degree, but it's not going to be enough. Ori diebacks, and Monet stuck in. So what is? He's just stuck there, trying to right-click his way out of this, getting some lifesteal now, but Zai, is he be able to take him out in the end? It's going to be close. Monet is still lifestealing, despite just standing still for the last 30 seconds. Matu has already died, and now Baboka trying to chase the Lich, but there's the rebound. Mickey gets instantly stunned, disposed back, they kill Monet. Finally, he buys back into the game though, and now the Unleashed going to town on XXS has bought back himself as well. Looks like Broodmother is next here though, and now this has turned into a 3 versus 2 technically in favor of Aster, but Boca dies. That's another dieback for him. Boxy teaming away. He is successful. 6K lead for Liquid. What the hell was that fight?
It's actually completely insane. If Aster do end up claiming this, I guess they're somewhat okay with what they had to throw for that. They spent, how many buybacks was that? I kind of lost the overview.
A lot. I mean, this isn't even accurate.
4 buybacks,
Yeah.
I believe, from Aster used in this situation. Obviously, they had to buy back Ori in the beginning, so again, Ori really not progressing
Liquid.
too much.
They want to go. They have the rebound available. Roche is relatively low. The Frost Shield is there, but a nice pit of Malice. Gonna root that. The Boxy gets into the pit. He gets to dispose off. Who gets the Roche is the question. Nobody wants to kill it. And finally, Monet, he snatches the Aegis. So technically, Liquid get the kill. Not sure who got the shard on top of that, but either way, Aster is happy with this exchange. Looks like Boxy, did he actually take the shard?
Boxy grabbed it, and in a fit of panic, he used it instantly. I don't think that's the best shard they could have used there. Maybe, what are the other options? Brood or Lina? Yeah, maybe it's actually the best.
It might be fine, actually.
Now they have a save that they haven't had before. They can obviously rebound the target away.
Okay, Nibel hit the LSA there, but wow.
I mean, honestly, the craziest thing about the team fight that we just saw was how long Monet stayed alive, right? It's because he's getting Crimson guarded by the Underlord, so the spiders do 0 damage. Zai has a 0 damage item build, so he's basically tickling him. And Monet was just using Mask of Madness, standing still and pressing A-click on the ground.
I've never seen a sniper stand still for that amount of time. As we have some more action, it looks like potentially Rupture. But Zai is kind of stuck. He's going to get charged at it. XXX is taking the brunt of the damage from Matu. He's going to get bashed up, but will be able to get the Fiend's Gate out in time. As Liquid just don't have the damage right now, but Zai, he gets charged in on, into the Nether Strike and into the right clicks of Monet. And now with the assault onto XXS, this is going to add insult to injury, and this push will be even faster for Aster. No pun, I mean, that was a rhyme. Intended. Tier 2 tower looks to be done. How much more can they get? Still 3.5 minutes on the Aegis.
50 seconds on Brood as well.
Yep.
And Zaya does not have buyback gold. They do not know this for a fact, but they might have a feeling based on the Aghanim Scepter being purchased that he cannot reconnect to this fight. Still, you have to be a little bit careful about this high ground push. Marcy is very terrifying on defense, and as we've already established, Boxy with the dagger doesn't even need to rebound in. He can blink in and dispose and rebound out to maybe force a BKB. He can obviously also rebound in and dispose and then blink out if he's fast enough. If he takes any damage, that is not happening.
He can rebound his teammates.
He can also do that. He could rebound Mickey in and lose the game. That is another option he has.
We have seen it during the DPC. We have seen the Marcy Shard win games and lose games. Come on, Boxy. Habibi!
I'm keeping over. I'm keeping over. I can't get it. I mean, whenever they have massive fight, we'll do a good fight, I think.
Yeah, buyback flash, buyback sniper, and
Sania counting the buybacks there.
Yeah.
Wonder if he counted all of them and wrote down all the times. That would be very impressive. That would be inhuman, as a matter of fact.
Indeed. It's nice to have a human calculator on your team, as I'm sure you can attest to.
Yep, I have that every game.
Well, 2 minutes still on the Aegis for Aster, but Liquid, in terms of network, have the very slight lead right now. An incredibly close game. DD is bottled for Monet, and I'm sure that they're going to want to use it here to at least get a tier 3, if not, try to get a barracks.
That bottom lane is very, very open. Minute 50. I don't know how much is left on the bottle. When did he pick that up? So if he picked it up around 40, it might have been sitting there for a little bit, but should have enough time to maybe connect on a wave. The spinners, snares are starting to make life difficult for Aster. Very annoying.
Techies was deleted, but
I actually think
lives on in Brood.
I was saying this is kind of the new old Techies, spinner, snare. It is incredibly annoying to play against. Don't underestimate how much the mental means, but, well, no snares bottom just yet. Monet pumps the DD. We'll force out the glyph. They will get another glyph after this tower falls, mind you, with the changes, so Liquid do have another round of defense for the barracks.
Tier 3 finally down.
Yeah, Monet's attack speed is nothing to scoff at. He's got a lot of attack speed items. They have the AC on the Underlord, Mask of Madness activation. It's looking pretty good for Aster. This is a big moment now. Liquid will try to find perhaps an angle. Just pushing out mid for now. Do they even have any smokes left? They do not. Yeah, they do. They have one on boxing. So if Liquid do want to challenge something here, they can, but it's a very, very difficult position to access yourself into. You keep scouting them with spinner snare, though. Oh, Monet, well, we can't flip another one. No, XXS, however. They'll find another spinner snare. I'm sure he's having a great time there.
They're smoked up, but he knows, right? It notifies them.
Yep. This is not happening.
That is actually hilarious, man. I think it's my first game casting Brewdags.
It's one of those things that's hilarious to watch, and then you're imagining being a player on Aster.
Oh, of course. Of course.
That's
Dota, right?
It is very annoying, let me tell you. All right, Liquid, it's time. This age is expiring just now. Aster will place XXS to cover the high ground. Boxing gets
jump him. They know they get the bash up, and Monet is right-clicking from afar. Vicky Fox to BKB gets a Laguna Blade, and now they jump on top of Monet and kill him immediately. No buyback for him, and Baboka now stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's a second. Make it 3 for Mickey. What a fight. What an initiation with no vision, I'm pretty sure. Not able to get the rebound. Boxy has been playing out of his mind. And now down the mid lane, Liquid goes with a 7K lead, knowing that a lot of these buybacks will not be available. Only the Underlord at the moment.
And you just love the confidence from Boxy, right? The smoke breaks, he instantly just blinks up blindly and pops his ult, and BKB finds a target, the fight breaks out. And Monet tries to come in and help, but they just destroyed him with Marcelina. He didn't even get to play the fight. Probably felt relatively confident with his Butterfly that he had something to stand his ground with, but just not the case. Liquid, are they actually just going to go for it?
They're going to try to go for the throne. They know that Sniper's not back for 60 seconds. Tier 4 is already at half HP. They're going to be able to take it out pretty swiftly. Can Aster actually defend this in a 3v5 situation? Finally, the fortification is popped. They won't have one for the rest of the game in all likelihood if they continue down this mid lane. Unleashes pop for Boxy, just priming and ready to go. One tier 4 down. Will Liquid continue on here? 33 seconds on Monet. Crimson Guard trying to mitigate a little bit of damage here, but there's the initiation on XXS. They get the Rupture on him. They force step him as well, but he's going to live inside the fountain. But the tier 4 goes down as well. And now on to the Ancient. Ori pops the BKB and Bloodstone, but the focus is now on to the Ancient for Liquid. All they have to do is right-click, then they'll get game 1. Charge in from Baboka. Pretty big, but make it continue to right-click with the data. That's going to be enough. Liquid take game 1. Unbelievable. I don't know how this team continues to give everybody heart attacks around the world, but I'm close to that right now, Cinderin. Good Lord.
What an amazing way for them to do that. So the moment Aegis expires, they're like, it's go time. We smoke, they run in, they find an amazing fight. There's no buyback on Aster on the Sniper. Their best line of defense is out of play, and Liquid just take the risk. They're assuming he doesn't have the buyback with the fresh Butterfly, and they just commit. They run down the mid lane, they push through it, and they get the job done. What an amazing way to end that game. And not the way I thought it was going to end, or the speed.
Yeah.
This happened very suddenly. They found the perfect moment, and they get themselves up 1-0.
Absolutely unreal game. And if you're Aster, obviously we talked about they 2-0'd Liquid in the upper bracket. They face them now, and this is a team. This is a different Liquid team than we saw in the upper bracket. I mean, they were upper bracket, sure, but their momentum, despite this break, is just ridiculous. This is like Team Spirit, not to pat myself on the back, Team DC from TI6. Like, a lot of these memories are coming back to me, Sinner, and this team is pretty fearsome, to be sure. Let's go to the studio and see what they have to say. Don't listen to Sinner anymore.
Thank you for that. Indeed, I know that a lot of people were wondering, like, 5-day break, that momentum, it might be gone. No, it's not. No, it's not. Team Liquid take game 1 here against Aster, so they are one step away from getting to that final day of the International 11. I'm joined by Jenkins, Lacoste, and Effie. Effie, this game, where do you want to start breaking it down? Because it was such a close game till the very end when we saw Monet die without buyback.
I mean, that was a great game, just as we expect from Liquid, but I guess I just want to start from the draft, because I think that they did something really cool conceptually that game, which was they countered the Leshrac that they gave to Ori, which is one of his best heroes, with the same timing, the 15-minute pipe timing on the Broodmother versus the 15-minute timing of the Bloodstone on the Leshrac. And it felt like every time Ori was taking these fights, he just was not healing. And the BKB from Lina came in so early as well. So I think if you just break it down to basics like that, they had a lot of really cool ideas that they obviously prepared for.
how does this keep happening? Every single time Team Liquid plays, it's just pure chaos, pretty much. You know, ever since like their days in Alliance, some of these players, like that they're not going to be able to close out the game. Something weird's going to happen.
Like this.
Serious against Thunder Awaken.
Like Root coming through the portal of the Underlord.
Yeah, Zai's like, yeah, I gotta check it out to see what's in this door. And yeah, he joins, but most of the time he was at the bottom, just chilling, farming his items, something that Effie did mention. This was brutal. Like this fight right here, people life-stealing from both of the Wraith packs, having the life-steal from the sidekick, Paladin and Sword as well. I think Boxy is having the time of his life. Like this is extremely good performance. This might even be, you know, Boxy Tosca really up there, but Boxy on Marcy completely
that
different.
TP was insane.
Yeah, so many times clutch plays coming out from him.
It's like a redemption arc for him, I feel like, because you know, when Liquid lost Taiga, I think a lot of people were thinking, you know, Taiga, for this guy, he's an offlaner. He's coming in and taking Taiga's role, you know, fan favorite going over to OG, but it's like he has absolutely proven himself over the year. I think we were pleasantly surprised casting him in throughout the EU DPC, but this isn't just like a pleasant surprise from him. This is fucking insane. He's legitimately carrying his team. That last game was entirely on his shoulders. The blink up onto the high ground, the BKB TP out that we saw, he was not only initiating every single fight, his 2 cores were dead, and he was carrying it. He was doing the damage. This guy's a 4 position, not the carry.
No, he's definitely insane on that role, as you say. And someone who's also insane, a little bit, is Direction Slack, who's in the crowd.
Stadium is packed. I thought that we would go and talk to some people about that last game. Pretty exciting stuff here. Hello. Who are you rooting for in that last game?
Liquid, obviously.
Obviously. Is that, oh, wow. Well, what'd you think?
I thought it was phenomenal.
And what do you think about this stadium here right now? You feeling it? You feeling the TI hype?
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at it. We got flags and banners. This is going on. It's great.
All right. Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Canada? I saw the hat. I thought you were one of my people. Can we get one yeehaw, please? Canadian yeehaw?
Yeehaw!
Yeah! All right, any ASTER fans? ASTER fans? Anybody like ASTER? Oh, okay, we got an ASTER fan. What do you think about that last game, my friend? They need some words of encouragement. Anything to say?
They're both pretty good, but I just support whoever wins the team fight, actually.
Okay, well, that's depressing. I think they needed something more. Don't worry, you can do it, ASTER, right, boy? Everybody, we got it? ASTER! ASTER! All right, fantastic. Well, we're going to pass it back to the panel, my friends. But before we do, I just wanted everyone in the arena to let those people that are watching know what they missed. Can we please tell them from home how hyped we are? Let's go, Singapore! I'll do it. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Slacks. Indeed, Slacks and banners. What more do we really need? I know that ASTER needs a little bit more, though, because they got a lot of pressure on them now, Lacoste.
Yeah, most definitely, because, you know, they showed how good DOTA they can play on LAN, but if they don't win this series, this is going to be the second time in TI history that there's not going to be a Chinese team in top 3. There was one time that it happened, it was TI3, but other than that, you know, they are carrying the torch for their region.
Yep, definitely, because they eliminated the other Chinese team that was in the TIs, that was still in TI, and PSG LGD. Let's hear them talk about it.
打那个汤者的时候，我能感觉到我们队有一趟压力，就是自己给自己压力，就没有什么别的原因，就是可能感觉就是放不开吧，就我们。我觉得兰姆他就是，然后输给汤角之后，他还跟我们说了，是我们打的太没有那个进攻性了，就是打得太怂了，然后我们总结过了就改天就打败老干爹嘛，
就感觉老干爹一直是我们就是在中国赛区最大的竞争对手，然后之前也很多比赛被他们什么3比0、2比0，然后就各种被他们就是被他们干嘛，然后
22, Gabe and Gabe Radiant, 88% chance of winning.
Damage is going to be enough to actually get beautiful rolls coming out from XXS. They take him out 2-0 to start this fight. He's A-okay as Ori. He's going to get the instant kill onto Nothing to Say, who does not have buyback. And now they're going to turn this around onto the Primal Beast. This is what's the beginning of the end of game number 1 as Aster has come back with a vengeance. He's going to get the double spear with the shard. Triple kill on Ori. Nothing to Say is dead. Will he get the Sunder? No. 4 dead for PSG LGD as GG's come out. Aster eliminate LGD from TI11.
How did it feel knocking out LGD? What was it like?
打完之后感觉又是挺可惜的，感觉就有被死边什么的，看蛮可惜的感觉。
这次到了 TI， 肯定还是想往更高的名次冲刺，想把以前的那些输掉的比赛都赢回来。
我觉得我们今年这5个人在一起的那一刻，我就觉得我们是奔着今年的冠军来的。
挺难忘的吧，这7年来，这是我第一次冲进 TI 4强，并且有拿冠军的机会吧，所以我非常珍惜这一把翻盘，然后也很珍惜和我的队友走到现在。
我觉得不管是老干爹还好，还是我们，还是RNG好，为了中国粉丝，尽力去拿下这一个冠军吧。然后之前中国赛区的成绩都比较不错，然后都是老干爹，差不多都是老干爹拿的。然后今年到我们了，所以我觉得我们也要接下这个重任，然后不负众望。
Now that for sure is a lot of responsibility to carry on your shoulders, but if there's one coach that can propel you to do that, it is Alanam, because he's been at every international apart from one. He only missed TI7. This is his 10th international, his first as a coach, and he knows what you need as a player, I think, Jenkins, in order to make sure that you can focus on your game most of all.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's been one of the most experienced people at this TI at the start and at the end. Which it is funny that for this TI, a lot of the newcomers, the new blood, we're actually losing them. We're down 20% in terms of new blood versus old blood. It turns out experience is reigning supreme here, at least in the main stage of TI.
Yeah, Aster still has also a first-timer, Effie.
Yeah, in Siamese Cat. Interestingly enough, we found out today that he's the oldest player on Aster, but he is the newest to competitive play, which I thought was really cool because he's kind of like Aster's troublemaker in that he's always starting fights in pubs in China and coming up with memes. But I really like that you guys brought up the experience factor because that really feels like it was what Aster was lacking. Last year, they had really great results within China, but not internationally. But this year, they brought in Ori, who has so much competitive experience, and it really felt like that was the piece of the puzzle they needed, just some in-game shot caller, someone to play around, someone who knows their stuff. And if you combine that with Lanham, who we've already talked about has so much TI experience, you can really see the effect of it on this team.
You can indeed. Fun fact about Pichu, or Siamese Cat, is that he wanted to open a pet shop. He wasn't playing professional Dota 2, but he is playing professional Dota 2. A cat shop specifically, by the way, what's in the name? And he is playing Dota 2. He's walking to the stage right now. We got Team Liquid and Aster for the second game of this best of 3. They'll be taking their places. The pressure is on. The crowd is there to give them more energy, though, to propel through for sure as they are taking their seats. Now, one thing we've been talking about Aster, and we can continue talking about Aster, but isn't it also a lot of fun to hear players talk about players or teams talk about teams? For example, to hear Team Liquid talking about Team Aster.
I think Aster, they're individual. They're very, very strong.
A lot of the Chinese teams tend to have like a very good idea of like cohesion, and they play together very well, and they understand like how to ebb and flow around the map. Like when someone's being aggressive on one side, the other side is defensive, and they play this kind of map very, very well.
I think their individual strengths, along with like, I'm sure London brings a lot to the table because the cohesion and their overall strategies is also very solid.
In a lot of games, you can see they get severely outfarmed, but it doesn't matter because they just construct this 5-man ball that eventually will win the game. You know, no matter how much you outfarm them, they will win the game. It's their style, and it works well for them, and we're gonna try to counter that.
Well, and they did already in that first game, of course. I want to talk a little bit more about the game plan that we saw coming out from ASTER. This is one of the faster drafts we've had, right? Because you do have 5 days to prepare. We saw the Underlord Spearbreaker, XXS Baboka have been playing together in the same team since 2015. That's over 7 years, Lacoste.
Yeah, I mean, 7 years. Some people have not been playing Dota for that long that are in this tournament, which is, you know, pretty impressive. Sticking together, the chemistry is out there, and they're on to something. I mean, Monet did talk about, you know, I'm going to quote him, with the 5-day break, it feels like everyone's caught on a cliffhanger. Like, it's a lot of time to think about what you're gonna do, and I kind of liked what they had in this game number 1 with the Spirit Breaker and the Underlord, because you can have like a bit more of a global presence, and also Underlord against the Bloodseeker, where you can use the portal reset, going back to Fountain while you're ruptured and then come back in. So you know that they're theory crafted quite a lot. We could see this in game 1, but they might need to bang out something even stronger.
But to talk about the other side of the coin, I think Liquid prepared for this match so well. I was genuinely so impressed. I did manage to talk about it a little bit, but they gave away ASTER's comfort heroes. They gave away the 2 heroes that they lost to in the upper bracket, right? They lost to ASTER's Lesh and their Sniper in that game 1, and they just comfortably gave it away with ideas of their own. And I thought that Broodmother into the Lesh was very innovative, because typically you don't really think about them as a timing versus timing hero, but that's actually what it turned out to be. And of course, Boxy, who lost on the Marcy twice to ASTER, just came out swinging, right? He had a great upper bracket performance, but this one topped even that. So I feel like Liquid, their momentum didn't stop. The 5-day break did not hurt them like a lot of fans were worried that it would do. It actually seems to have benefited them. And you can really see the impact of the 3 coaches in Liquid now in this 5-day break. They really upped their analysis.
And going back to ASTER, I don't feel like what they prepared is something that they want to go back on. I think they can feel pretty good about that game, especially Baboka on the Spirit Breaker. He was, I think,
some clutch stuff.
Yeah, the same way that we're talking about Boxy playing Marcy, if ASTER had won, we'd be saying almost the exact same stuff about Baboka. Like, the 4 positions both carried so hard in both of these games. So I feel like the game just came down. It was very close for the entire thing. It was back and forth either way, and it came down to like 1 or 2 like clutch fights right at the end. I think ASTER can repeat the same thing, maybe with a little bit of a tweak, and they can feel good about their preparation.
I mean, after the game, it's easy to say, oh, they should have done that, but I don't mind. Like, I think ASTER played well. They did. Shot calling, went to use the buybacks. This is where the game kind of went towards Liquid's way, because they used 4 buybacks, and they didn't get too much out of it. They got Aegis. Boxy did steal Shard, and it's a meme shard. You know, he also consumed it.
Okay, guys, it is time. We're going to head into that second game of Liquid versus ASTER. Let's head over to some experts for the draft.
Team Liquid. Team Liquid versus Team ASTER. Game 2.
Thank you, Voice of God. Suns fan here with Cinderin, and again joining us is Stormstormer and Toby from Entity. Game 1. What did you guys think?
Exciting match. Great to kick off, I think. A lot of action in early and mid game. A lot of fighting. I think you could see the nerfs a bit as well. Like, people tend to go for a bit more risky plays and stuff, but I mean, that's what the stage makes you do. So pretty enjoyable. Pretty back and forth game, enjoyable to watch.
Feels like having a player like Boxy who's not afraid to take risks is so powerful when you're in this game state, and he was on the Marcy, which he will not be this time, because it will be on ASTER. I think we unanimously agreed that it felt like Boxy probably the MVP of that last game. Yeah. Just tons of playmaking, a lot of confidence, just really landing stun after stun. When his smoke breaks, he's just blinking in, setting things up for his team, giving vision. This time around, though, has to find another solution.
Yep. Draft's looking pretty similar again. I guess the only new hero is the Tusk.
Oh, there's a Primal Beast.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Primal's in the pool. You're right.
So you talk about how Marcy owned, and these are fast picks, by the way. These teams know exactly what's going on, but Boxy's Tusk has been pretty disgusting as well. Like, he's played like 3 or 4 heroes like S tier.
Yep.
For sure.
Do you like it as a counter 4 matchup against Marcy? Is Tusk one of the better ones, or do you not really mind?
I think Boxy just went down his list and took the second hero after Marcy.
That's honestly how it goes sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, one of the very crazy things is the 8 sniper on Aster. It seems like they have very high confidence pick. Like, they rate it super highly. There's not a Lina this time, and sniper is usually a Lina counter, so they just like it no matter what. Bans are also looking pretty similar. It looks like Liquid is going the list down again. They banned the Mars second stage as well last time.
Yep.
Don't remember what else they banned. I think Naga, but that was for the Brood, so they might not opt to that.
Yes, they banned Mars, Naga, and Pango. I do think the Pango will go. Yeah, it will. So, yeah, it's. I feel like when you're targeting XXS in second phase bans, these would be my 2 go-to ones. A potential honorable mention to Brewmaster. I don't know if. I guess Brew's a pretty good hero against Lesh, right? I've seen some teams use it as a counter pick. Just, Lesh hits this amazing timing with Bloodstone. You just cyclone him and fight someone else. So it might be worth a ban here for Liquid as well.
I think it's also one of XXX's top tier heroes, and they're gonna have to pick 16, 17. They don't know what they're going up against. And I think Aster is one of the teams that might pick it up if it's not getting banned in second stage. If you think it's good, Toby.
There's a Visage for him.
He plays Visage?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is it as well. Yeah, Visage an old school Lash rank counter as well. Still in the pool.
I'm thinking hard about this Lone Druid ban on Aster.
True, actually. yeah. So still, like, once again, you're playing against Liquid, you're playing against Marty, you're thinking, do you ban the Lone Druid or do you not?
Paper, it's bad against those heroes.
Getting rid of the Lich. This time around, I guess Aster, especially with this opening, are more countered by Frost Shield, and Insania did have a pretty meaningful impact in that last game with some Chain Frosts too. However, would you say Lich is like, I guess the Frost Shield component against snipers, just straight right click is nice, but he's never really going to be in position for Chain Frost. He's never going to be in range for the, and he's one of the heroes that can kill the Spire if Lich goes for that. It's kind of a hybrid mix.
I think the Frost Shield would have been good against both Sniper and Marcy.
Yeah.
Like, it would have just countered them too hard with the Lash. Also, the Brew ban coming out last from Liquid, I think that's very smart. As I said, like, XXS really loves this hero and would have been a decent answer to the Lash rack. The main coming out is no surprise, honestly. Maybe it's a surprise it didn't get banned. It's one of those heroes that Insania just loves to play. It's another Frost hero and a stronger lane. Surprised it didn't get banned, I guess.
Yeah, they're more afraid of Lich than Serum.
Yeah. But I think it makes sense against Marcy and Sniper with the Lash, no? Like,
I guess.
With the Frost Shield.
Do you think there's any downside to having a lineup that doesn't have a ton of flexibility right now? Kind of know where I mean, you said they could play position 1 Lesh technically. You said Aster wasn't able to do that probably, but as we're going to see a Putka.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. This sniper patch is flex, definitely.
I meant for Liquid.
Yeah, I think Liquid, they don't flex the Lash too much. I don't think Matos played Lash a single time this tournament, and Mika always had good results.
Mika can play safe lane Lash.
I suppose, yeah, if there's a good reason. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Silash.
They really want a solution for the Sniper in their lineup here with that backline jump.
This is really interesting.
So I believe it was Liquid against Thunder Awaken, where Thunder were picking Pudge into Lesh, and he is just insane against this hero. You pop Flesh Heap, you take basically no damage from Edict, you take almost no damage from Pulse Nova if you have any sort of magic resist on top of it. So is a direct counter here from Aster to the Lesh. Do you feel like Storm's matchup against Pudge is meaningful though, or?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I honestly don't have to play any of those 2 heroes, but it's probably a decent matchup mid for the Storm Spirit. He does very well against many melee heroes, and obviously an answer to Sniper, which I feel like they were lacking, I think. The mid matchup is probably fine.
I've seen Storm lose mid really hard to Sniper.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. So, like, they could actually opt to put the Sniper mid and the Pudge carry. That could be a very, I think, Sniper fair matchup midding against the Storm.
Is there a world that you can play a 3 Pudge on XXS? Because he has also played that hero in the past, or is that just kind of outdated at this point? We've barely seen it this tournament, right? It's almost only carry and mid.
I think that would be wild. I think that would be a bit, like, crazy. Especially because Monet and Ori are just insanely confident on it.
Yeah.
And I picture XXS as sort of the teamfight hero player, like the Panda, like a band out the Pango, the Mars. They even banning like more and more the Tide. I think they want some AoE control on this last pick on Aster possibly.
Now, Liquid, by being second pick, will have the ultimate last pick of the draft. You guys need to pick a hero for XXS now. What's it going to be? Like, you don't know your carry matchup, so I'm assuming you're trying to pick an offlaner that initiates for your team and maybe has a solution for Storm to an extent, or Sanking?
No. No. You don't want to get counterpicked by Matu and playing his Sanking.
Yeah, so...
Casual Visage.
Visage? Okay.
10 seconds remaining. Any melee strength hero.
Yeah, Visage is pretty decent in this game. I guess ASTER's teamfight would then not look that good. I'm still curious if Liquid is thinking about putting the Leshrac possibly on Matu, but I think it's almost 99% on Zai. He showed him multiple times.
I like Dawnbreaker against CM.
Oh, Dawnbreaker's still on the pool,
Just
yeah.
killer.
Liquid might ban it though.
Yeah. Dawn for XXS is definitely an option. He was banned last game as well by Liquid. It's kind of going down the list again. I wonder if there's anything else they have their eyes on as a potential threat that ASTER might go for, but yeah, Dawn seems pretty solid.
What else is in the pool even? So Brood is out, Enigma is out, Mars, Pango, Brew, Tide. So many threes are banned. And the Visage.
Right. Higher. Okay.
Right. Toby got it.
It feels like Dawn is a nice like layer of protection for the sniper later on as well. Like it could be the difference maker about whether he stays alive or not if he gets jumped by like Storm Tusk. Maybe a Donald can buy some time. You also have the hook, obviously, to try, and you have the... If it gets really crazy, maybe you can get a dispose off, but most of the time that's going to be tough. So what do you feel now? You like the Visage, right? And now that's not an option for ASTER anymore, so what
I don't really like Dawn, but it's like the only thing left.
Still the best one? Okay.
Yeah, this is a tough one, honestly. I'm not sure what else is even still left in the pool, and you have to consider that Liquid has the ultimate last pick against it.
I'd say I've seen Lone Druid do pretty well against Dawn in games that I've watched. Not really here at TI. I don't think it's been a common matchup, but just high-ranked pub games, Lone Druid fares well in that lane a lot of the time. Are you thinking about Lone as ASTER? You probably are, right? As an option here for Liquid. So is that a concern for Dawn, or is it still just the best choice you have and you just kind of have to deal with it?
I think you just have to pick it.
There's also the Underlord that he played last game.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a tough line pick, but it's a decent pit.
Omni Knight. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's a core? Marcy or Omni?
Or Jakiro.
Or Jakiro.
So what's the idea?
So this is a Matu hero, right? Lone Druid, you're saying. What do you guys think of Spectre? Good against Sniper, good against like pure damage through Omni Knight's ult.
I think they have Pudge problems. They need
Pudge is too good against that?
Yeah, they need someone
They need damage for Pudge.
Yeah, the Lifesteal are so out. The Spectre is not really needed because you already have the Storm against the Sniper. You could double counter him, but I'm not sure also how... Like, Spectre is a pretty outdated hero.
Is there actually even a carry left that counters Pudge on that matchup? Ursa, Bloodseeker, and Lifesteal are the three best. They're all gone. Something like CK can sometimes overpower it, but you're still against Flesh Heap and you're against GA, so it's kind of worry.
Yeah, it's not a good CK.
You have no dispels whatsoever against Omni in this game. I actually really like this last pick from ASTER, given that they don't have ultimate last pick. I think it puts a lot of pressure on Liquid to find a perfect hero that might not exist.
Morphling is the perfect hero, but Matu doesn't play it.
Matu plays Morph? No? Maybe he hasn't played it this tournament. He definitely plays it.
I guess. I mean, there's always like, it depends what you practice the last couple of months and how confident you're on it. So, in any case, is this an offlane Omni, you think? Or XXS Marcy? That's actually like still not obvious.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily.
What if it's an Ori
Sounds
Sniper
like
and
offlane Omni.
Carry Marcy with Omni support? That's also an option.
All right, looks like they've made their selection. They're going to wait till the last second. The whole gyro meme, I believe, is what Blitz said. Just to make Insania sweat a bit. And okay.
Nice call, Toby.
Toby proved.
Well, you said it was the best pick, but you also said he wasn't playing it. So you get 1 point out of 2.
Matu was laughing, so I think he
he's
understood
like, it's perfect pick,
like,
but I don't like
hero, guys.
Toby on the case predicting every hero.
All right, so whose draft do you guys like?
So it's a 5 Omni for P2.
Offlane Marcy.
Offlane Marcy XXS. Ori mid Pudge.
Ori mid Pudge, exactly. I like Liquid's draft, honestly. It's confidence coming out from this Morphling pick. I think it's a very good Morphling game. Also, Zai has done wonderful things on the Slash, Boxy Tusk. Curious to see how this mid matchup will go in the end. The Storm against Pudge, but I think Liquid's draft is...
I like Liquid's draft as well.
It's pretty damn good with this Morphling last pick. I think they got them.
How do you think Marcy Sniper fares against Lesh Tusk? I feel like that might be the lane to watch here. Is that clearly favored for either team? assuming it's, or sorry, I said Marcy's sniper, sorry, Sniper Omni. Do they have the tools necessary to lane?
Sniper Omni should do very well in this lane, I think. Okay. Unless they get outplayed.
And Marcy in any lane will do well, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what we've learned at this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this hero is still bonkers, I guess. XXS can also do good things.
Jakiro, by the way.
Yeah, so Marcy Jakiro against Morph Maiden probably is going to be a farming lane, largely, right? But the Omni Sniper is definitely an oddball.
I guess the Marcy is also like not counted in any way this game, except the Morphe baby. I'm not sure what the lane goes like, but it's a decent Marcy game as well. Oh.
So Sir Action Slacks, I believe, is with us here with a nice interview before game number 2. Let's hear what he has to say.
Absolutely. I am here with Lanham and Helen. Hello, everybody. Welcome. First question for you. You're up against the big blue team, the big blue meanies here with that draft. Sniper last game, Sniper this game. I know Liquid has not beaten Sniper yet. Is this on purpose? Do you think that's their weakness?
你们对战一支全蓝的队伍，在本次比赛当中 ，Liquid 没有击败过火枪，你们是做了功课针对他们的吗？
这个英雄对他们的英雄池有一定的克制作用，
Well, this hero kind of counters their hero pool.
A standard answer. All right. Let's talk about Omni Knight. Now, we don't see this hero a lot coming out here, last chance here. Do you believe in the omniscience? Do you believe that this is the power you need to come back in the series?
其实全能在本次比赛当中并没有选的很多，你对自己的全能有没有信心？信不信他？
我不信他，我也不会选出来吧。
Why would I pick him if I don't believe in him?
Yeah, baby. All right. And I just wanted to give you a moment here with the crowd. Of course, the crowd is cheering for you. They love you. I want you to have your last moment. So take it away. Say whatever you want to say.
现场观众有很多人都替你们打气，有没有什么想跟他们说的？
希望兄弟们打气的那个声音再大一点，我在里面听不到，好吧
？Can you guys cheer louder? Because I can't hear you.
Oh, he wants that cheer louder. Can we give him one more before he gets to the game, Singapore? I think that's pretty loud enough. All right, we'll throw it back to our casters.
Thanks, Slacks and Lan M, Cinderin with Sunsfan.
You're welcome.
Hello, Sunsfan. Thank you. Liquid versus Aster, game number 2. And we're going to see a Matu Morph, as we already discussed. We're going to see the Omni Knight support, which is a hero that didn't exist until recently, it feels like. Tell me what this hero offers.
Yeah, so Omni usually will, on level 1, skill Hammer of Purity, which is also what he has done here. So it's his trading ability in lane. You just do some damage and effectively trade HP off. You bring your tangos yourself and you try to trade with either the enemy support or the enemy offlane or whatever is better. And then later, okay, that's a start from Ori.
Yep, the hook looks good. He's all warmed up from game number 1.
Yep.
Just give me Pudge. This is an elimination game. Give me Pudge. I want to have fun.
I will say, to be honest, this has been one of Ori's most impressive heroes to watch this year. After it became relevant as a core hero, he's been one of the standout players on it, so I think Aster will feel confident having him running that. To finish off on the Omni thought, aside from this early laning trading that he does here with Boxer, who's pulling the wave, what Omni is going to offer is a lot of defense. It's one of the most defensive supports in the game. You have a strong heal, you have a Dispel that gives regen, and your ulti, obviously, the full physical block, which Liquid have done a very good job at, with their lineup. They have solutions for Guardian Angel.
Okay.
Ori.
Yeah, he pops the Fairy Fire, so he's going to live as a result. Matu getting pretty low in the bottom lane, and Zai getting low in the top lane. Action in all 3.
In this lane, he would have a million move speed right now, but...
talk to me about the mid matchup. So Ori on the Pudge, Mickey on the Storm Spirit. Pudge is just, we've talked about this hero a lot, but very level dependent.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's being played in core really gets benefited from his passive, which is now an active. He has great base damage. He can write good attack animation. Like, it's really hard to deal with this hero.
I think this lane is pretty dangerous for Storm, because if you do get hooked, you have no way of repositioning yourself. You have 285 move speed, so you can never outrange the Pudge.
Yeah.
Even if you Vortex, the slow isn't enough, slow yourself. So it's kind of a balancing lane where Pudge needs to gauge whether he can go for a kill or not. And if he can, and lands a hook, it probably just gets it. Oh boy, insane.
Dispose, and first blood this time goes to Aster.
Look at that. It's the same as last game. Marcy jumps maiden and kills her in the same place.
Marcy is, I mean, we talked about it. Wait, Primal Beast wasn't banned at all? Or was that in the second?
He was ignored, I think.
Completely ignored. Wow.
I believe so.
Yeah, Primal Beast and Marcy, we were both expecting to be the most picked / banned, but to get through at this late in the tournament, shocking.
Yeah, and oh, there's that trade-off. Ori with
the rod. We got a TP coming in, but Boxy is a little too late. Gets the ice shards off.
He's level
Water
1
Rune
though.
is popped by Ori, and it looks like he's fine. Wants a high five. Will he get a high five back? No, Boxy just focusing on CS.
Oh, this is concerning for Liquid. Once Ori gets going on this hero, he has the ability to completely take over games. He's gonna now go and get the bounty rune for a refill.
Oh yeah,
also gonna hook the Centaur for some added benefit.
Great.
Gonna get a Tango, a Heavenly Grace. Everything to make good old Pudge happy here, and yep, that solo kill mid is enormous. He's 600 net worth now ahead of that Storm, and the level advantage is nothing to ignore either. When Storm hits 6 after Pudge, he's constantly at risk. Any connection on a hook is a kill. You can even just walk up and dismember him if the lane positioning is unfortunate for Mikiro. He's not paying attention, being careful enough all the time. Yeah, it's scary, this mid lane start for Liquid.
This is not even taking into account that there's a Marcy on your team that has not even bothered to help out in mid lane because they don't need to, because he's winning that, and now they're going to go on top of Insania again as Matu trying to deal some damage to Baboka, but it looks like Insania will be the death for Liquid again. 0-2 thus far in this lane.
Yeah, Maiden Morph just not the strongest of lanes, especially in the early levels. Liquid obviously acknowledging that Morphling has a good core game, but the Marcy Jakiro lane, insanely strong matchup. Like, you're gonna hit level 3 now as well, Ori will.
Zai, they're gonna go on top of Monet here. Looks like they'll find the kill first before Zai ends up being the trade. So favoring Liquid here.
Yeah.
Siamese Cat just trying to harass Boxy away. The XXS tries to go for a cheeky rebound play, but Matu, as long as you get that strength off, you're not going to die in all likelihood here. And Ori, like you said, level 5, almost level 5.5, as Mickey just hits level 5 now, so he will have a kill opportunity. We'll see how passive Mickey will be at that point.
Monet is doing some serious damage to Boxy, not enough though. And yeah, this lane from Liquid, it's really fun to watch this lane because it feels so different from most of what we've seen. Not the Lesh Tusk is pretty common, right? But the Omni Sniper might be the first time this tournament this lane is even played, I would imagine. It's very special in the sense that Sniper has basically no way of repositioning himself, but Omni can make you strong enough to maybe stand your ground, even against Tusk Lesh. As long as there's creeps around that can eat part of the Edict, which, by the way, Zai isn't even skilling. He's going Lightning Storm stun for now, but Edict will be coming later. Perhaps it's enough. I also wonder how comfortable Liquid are playing against this matchup and Omni in general.
Boxy, he's in a rough spot. Gets off a nice ice shards though. Boxy, one of the best Tusk players in the world, of course. We've seen this time and time again. Looking certain death in the eye as hook onto the range creep.
And might have wanted the siege actually, but
yeah, possibly. Either way, the next creep should get him to level 6, and that is where Mickey has to be extremely careful. But Ori's taking a lot of damage here, so we'll see. Has 10 wand charges right now.
It is power rune time though.
Yeah, there it is.
And he's gonna go for it right away.
Immediately, here comes the snowball to try to cancel, but the damage is already done on Mickey. Another TP to come out from Insania. Mickey dies first though, as Baboka is the one technically getting credit for that one. Zai in the meantime has to TP back to Fountain in the top lane.
Yeah, so the trade-off here is it's a 1-for-1 kill, but Liquid have to bring 2 supports mid to get the trade, and obviously that leaves their side lanes exposed, and ASTER identify that and immediately take advantage of that top. Lesh is not a good hero 1v2. This hero thrives on playing with ideally a melee 4 that can set him up and tank some damage, go first. Once that's out of the window, even a lane like Sniper Omni can actually just bully you out. Put on a little bit of a Hammer of Purity and a Shrapnel and just run Lesh down, and he has to back. So
talk to me about back to Pudge, of course. Yeah. Stop talking about this fat guy, but
understandable.
Ori has his phase boots. He's going for the casual cloak into Ag. That's really fast.
Yeah.
Is that because he's owning right now?
It's that, and he has Omni, right? I think that that extra layer of protection really helps in speeding up your hero going for a faster pace. So I don't mind it. We've seen some different builds on Pudge. We've seen Blink Rush was popularized, especially in the China region earlier this year. Cloak into Axe has been run without Omni as well, so it's not like the first time we've seen Hood into Axe. We'll see. If he dies once, he might just buy a Hood for value. But as long as he's balling like this, I mean, he has died once. If he dies again.
Yeah, but that death, it was a good trade.
It was a trade.
He got the XP.
Oh, close to hitting that hook on Mickey. Had the ward seeing Mickey's movement, which he's now going to ping, is like, why on earth would Ori ever hook here unless he saw me on a ward?
Yeah.
But Ori did not count correctly with the... Didn't account for Storm's slow movement speed and threw the hook out too early. Mickey obviously not even having boots will make that movement.
Imagine being that slow and it benefiting you as Mickey gets out the Electric Vortex. Boxy is here as well. Ice Shards to connect onto Ori. He's stuck here. Gets off the hook though. Instantly cancel on the Dismember, so no kill comes out from Aster this time. But that is a haste rune.
Oh, this rune is insane on Pud.
Indeed. And just like that, Mickey zips as far away as he can, knowing that he can't really contest here.
Or he's going to see Boxy. He might just go for it. No, he's not. So
it's time.
Keep in mind, Ori's going for a pretty standard Pudge build here. He's going 1-3-2, which means when he activates Flesh Heap, it blocks all of the self-damage from Rot. This spell gains so much from the second point. And when you have that haste rune, you can just run at people with Rot and Flesh Heap on the duration, usually enough to find a key kill in a fight. So you've got to be very, very careful as Liquid around the map right now.
Yep, and they actually just drew. I believe that was Boxy. They know that this gank attempt is happening. Zai TP's out.
Honestly, I'm really impressed.
Good attempt from Ori.
Yeah, good read.
Pop the haste now and get back to mid.
Great read from Zai to TP there, because I think a lot of players in that situation just start running and probably get out from running, aside from the obviously Pudge connection there. So he knew that that was a haste play coming in when Sniper started playing aggro and instantly TP'd away, so well done. Still a very Aster favored early game. Last game was a lot more even at this point.
Yeah, but with all this this movement, it's kind of created some space here for Matu to catch up a bit. He's top 2 net worth right now, so he's off to a pretty good start. He, of course, went for... Oh, he's going straight Lincolns right away. First item. This is like super old school.
It's pretty old school. It's not a build we see
rebound
right now.
Sania is eventually, surely Crystal Maiden doesn't run away from somebody. Surely he is dead. They want Ori to try to get these Flesh Heap stacks. The hook connects, and Ori gets another Flesh Heap stack to his name, which is now at 3. But yeah,
that might be the longest that Maiden escape from King ever.
So that was like, I thought it was slow motion at first. Big zip in with a connection from Boxy. They're focusing on Baboka. They get him. They get a little bit low on mana as Ori is now TP'd in. Looking for a connection of their own, faking the hook, not going to go for it.
That was with the power rune picked up from Mickey. He got a double damage, and that enabled that play to be very swift. So immediately converting that to a support kill. Not the biggest, but it's still nice for Liquid to force rotation, if nothing else, from Aster. They do get the TPs in toward mid, which I think arguably are worth more than the kill itself in that instance. Just getting Ori as well as Pichu's TPs on cooldown, which could potentially open up for something here up top. Boxy is thinking about it. He's getting level 6 from the next creep in Fog. But Pichu in a very good position here, covering Monet, and it is a difficult kill. Keep in mind, if he Heavenly Graces at the right time and removes multiple abilities, Monet just gets that bit stronger. That could keep him alive. He also has Raindrop and a decently charged up wand. So this play probably does not actually exist for Liquid. Hook, Matu with a quick wave form.
They could just go for the tier 1 tower on top of the Omni Knife potentially. Gets off of Heavenly Grace, but Boxy, he's the one kind of isolated right now. The snowball is going to buy him a little bit of time, but he's just going to get right-clicked by Monet. So a really easy kill here from Aster.
And yeah, Liquid even brought a Maiden for that just to die in a 2v3. That feels really bad. You're the one allocating resources to try to threaten the Sniper, and he's just standing his ground, showing to be way too powerful with the Omni Knight behind. You kind of settled for trying to go on the Omni, but just not possible.
Oh, we got Ori. He's going to get the Dismember up, but that's against another punch named Matu. Trying to get off a little bit of damage here, but he's going to get Ice Path inside the Macro Pyre. Hook back into the fray, and down goes Matu. Zip back in, but now the Heavenly Grace comes out as Mickey has to walk away in shame. Aster here in numbers. Not sure if they see Insania, but
yeah, he's got no resources left.
He's a pig.
Oh, this is one way Maiden can escape for a few seconds, but now
Hook
she's
potential. Oh! Crystal Maiden jukes in slow motion, but XXS is here. And again, the longest chase of Insania's life, but he created a little bit of space.
Hey, you'd think it's impossible for him to beat his record from 2 minutes ago, but here we are. He actually kited them for a good half minute there. That, if you're a Maiden, you take that. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Splitter the connection. There's Matu coming in with the waveform. Monet's just going to get right-click down in Oblivion, but Ori is coming into the fray as well. He's going to get stunned right off the bat. Is this the 3 versus 1 against this tanky Pudge? Splitter connects. This is going to be a huge kill for Liquid if they're able to grab him, and it looks like they will. A little bit late on a Heavenly Grace for Siamese Cat. So 2 core kills for Liquid.
Yeah, and a tower. That could not have gone any better. And not a ganking duo you would expect in that instance as Monet. It's the Lesh Morph gank in the side lane. And the TP too late from Ori, and Omni Knight did not have one, I believe, so couldn't show up and protect in time. A big moment for Liquid, just recovering a lot of their early game deficit there with 1 swift move. They find 2 cores in a tower. Doesn't get much better than that.
That was a savior friend syndrome domino effect. Something. But on the bright side for Aster, Ori is more than halfway to his Ags, and once he gets that against a Lesh, against a Morph, it still works that way in Morph, right? The health reduction. Actually, can't remember anymore.
Yeah,
that was changed.
It should favor Aster.
So a really good Pudge Ags game.
I'll cancel the Pudge out there. I'll cancel it. I think we can kill him too.
No cancel anymore.
His thing is running out. Yeah.
Yes,
fucking get it, boys. I said only cup 2.
They sound very happy all the time, don't they?
They do. I mean, it did win
good.
game 1.
That's true.
That'll help.
Indeed. Nice path not able to connect here. But yeah, I mean, this game was definitely Aster's favor, but that one move, it felt like it brought Liquid back into the game, and it's essentially even for net worth-wise at least. You can see Zai still working on a Bloodstone. Obviously, position 3 is not going to farm nearly as fast as the usual mids that we've been seeing. Mickey getting relatively close to finishing the Sange Kaya. And of course, on Matu's side, let's go back to this Lincoln Sphere. This is like a Dota 1 classic. Literally every game you buy this first item. And then early games of Dota 2, it kind of transitioned over and then disappeared pretty much. I don't remember why at this point. More items were added.
Yeah, a lot of the times you would see now, I think most Morphlings buy Falcon Blade into something else than Lincolns. There's like plenty of item builds you can go on this hero, but I'm just looking for the reasoning for the Lincolns. If is it Dismember? Is it Dispose?
Oh, Mickey zips in, but there's 3 members of Aster. He doesn't seem to give a crap about it. There goes the Guardian Angel, and Mickey's just gonna get punished right off the bat. And Aster super happy with this exchange as Insania baiting them into a potential chase of the lifetime again, but they will give up on that.
You can't underestimate how much Omni does in these situations. If you're jumping a support and you're like, man, he's low, I can get this kill. Omni casts Heavenly Grace and level 1 Purification, and Baboka all of a sudden wasn't even remotely close to dying.
Yeah.
But Mickey needs backup. This is not the greatest Storm game to solo kill in, because the enemy supports are actually relatively tanky, right? There's a Jakiro, there's an Omni. If you want to get a solo kill on either, you really have to burst your entire mana pool away, and then you might not even be able to get out afterwards, so might have had to wait for the Sange Kai there. That could have made the difference, potentially.
And Ori destroying an illusion here as we're going to see a bunch of items picked up. So Bloodstone for Zai, and we saw Ori's Aghanim Scepter now being completed.
Pudge is insanely strong right now. He's easily the strongest hero on the map. If he has Omni Knight protection and he gets Flesh Heap off, I think Liquid genuinely can't even kill him with 5 heroes during the duration of Flesh Heap plus Heavenly Grace. So they've got to be pretty strategic about how they approach this fight. Ori has queued up his next item. It's going to be the Blink Dagger. So, they're going to go on him top here. Flesh Heap is
going to try for it. Ice Shard's blocking him in. Nobody nearby, but he's going to get the Dismember instantly canceled thanks to the Split Earth from Zai. But this Rot is decimating them as Zai forced the TP out. But the hook back in. Split Earth is coming. He's faking it out. Doesn't do enough damage though, as Zai could just be walked down on. Ori with another stack of Flesh Heap. That's up to 7.
Yeah. They need more heroes than that. That doesn't cut it. It looks juicy, right? It looks tempting. He's even half duration Flesh Heap when they initiate. All it takes is for one support to show up, and Ori can clean house there, and that's...
And Aster back to 2K now.
It feels like Liquid will not make that mistake again. It's kind of like you're testing the limits. Are you able to pull that off? The answer is no. Next time you're bringing probably the Storm or the Morph to make sure you get that done. But it's a costly learning experience. It's 2 heroes dead. It's almost a mid-tier 1. It's more Flesh Heap stacks like we talked about. Yeah, something else I guess we didn't mention. Marcy with Pudge is pretty interesting too, just for the rebound move speed. This hero isn't too fast, but effectively giving him haste when he initiates, he jumps on him. XXS will finish the tower here, no problem.
Yep, very not really defended. Rebound, looking for an opening, but none to be found yet. He's going to be shown, but no Blink Dagger yet there for the instant initiation from Ori.
We see Matsu going for pretty standard morph here. One of the best items to get against Pudge with the Ags. The stat steal is very powerful, and you steal this obviously stat resistance as well, so you can maybe lock onto him and bring him down. It's the link hits that's a little bit unusual, I would say. Maybe we're talking about that a bit too much. It's not like
let's bring it up for the 3rd time.
It's not like an insane rarity, but I think a lot of players in this spot would have gone for a cheaper build-up with Falcon Blade into the Ags, or maybe
I would say
maybe it's a Manta game. I don't know.
First item is variant. Yeah. But there's Dismember, there is Dispose, and there's Assassinate.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's one argument, is Linken's is extremely good when there's only 3 things that cancel, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's also a feel-good item in terms of like being full health and mana when you're pushing around the map, in terms of farming. It is a good item on the hero, but...
They're hunting a sniper, but he has a lot of distance there. Boxy looking for an opening.
He has the pike though. This is not easy.
Yeah, and he's going to use it prematurely there.
They're spam pinging it out. They know.
Good awareness there from Aster as their lead continues to grow. Now at 4K with the Blink Dagger now online on Ori. So he can just jump in. I would assume a BKB would be next.
Let us fight.
As Zai and Boxy just have to try to keep Aster at bay a bit, and you know what this conversation's going against, Cinderant.
Yep.
Who does it benefit?
Who's tier 5 neutral? Roche.
The same joke every time. Eventually somebody will laugh.
That's the thing though, when you get toward the end of the tournament, you run out of content, right? It's the same with the teams. But actually, the drafts have been pretty creative today, so that's been pretty cool.
True.
Roche, I guess if Boxy had more levels in tag team, probably the Radiant is the faster Roche killers, but overall, Marcy will always be one of the best heroes at doing it as a core. Level 2 Unleashed with Foreign Sidekick. Speaking of which, Mickey!
Oh, zips just in time. Wants to get a little bit aggressive, but he's outnumbered.
He'll get out.
Be able to get out.
Good reaction. If that connects, that could have been really scary. But yeah, I guess either team can Roche relatively quickly if they find 1 or 2 core kills, and that looks to be the game plan here for Aster. They're rotating top to start taking control of this area so they can start threatening Roche. And if Liquid is showing 2 cores on the enemy side of the map or something like this, you could just sneak it with Marcy plus Sniper, I guess. I guess actually, they're pretty good at killing it. So, both teams looking at it more and more. Yep, there we go. They see cores bottom. Well, it's only 1 core in the Lesh, but let's see if he pops the Unleash or not. XXS is holding on to it, so this will be a slower kill than what it could be, but does offer the protection of, in case a fight breaks out, he has that BKB Unleash, which is very, very powerful. And yeah, Aster know that they don't need it at all to kill it. They will grab it. Looks like it's going on Monet again, like last game. Could have seen it on Pudge in this one, honestly. I definitely think Ori is in a position to just go crazy with an Aegis, but it's rather protect Monet.
Yeah, Monet always gets the Aegis. That's what we've learned here. No matter the hero. Onto the high ground, the hook connects. But see Insania trying to get away, but some good moves. Not going to be enough though. Split Earth onto the Sniper is the rest of Liquid trying to get away in this bot lane. Shrapnel slowing him to a crawl. Zai continuing to get headshot. Do they have the stun? They do. Ori with a double kill across the map. Now top lane, looks like Liquid want to try to get something out of this.
Mickey's out of mana.
He is. I don't know if he can get this kill. Has to TP out. Will live, but no kill for Liquid at all.
If Aster had any TP with a stun there, that could have been a dead storm, but they're all on cooldown or unavailable. So Mickey, I mean, that was just a full-on global fight, top to bottom to top again. Very understandable that Mickey tries for it with how many heroes from Aster rotated, but again, Storm just doesn't have enough in the tank to solo even the Jakiro.
XXS, that's who they want. Boxy has a Blink Dagger, Walrus punch as well, but XXS gets off his BKB and Unleash, and now he wants to fight because Ori has come to play. Matu, nice save on the Boxy, but it's going to cost them the Crystal Maiden again. It could have been a lot worse for Liquid, but Aster able to keep their position 3 Marcy alive.
All things considered, that was not too terrible. Matu showing up with the Ags there. Definitely helping out against the Pudge.
The zip in, they're trying to take out the Omni Knight. The hook from Matu, that is enough for a kill, but the instant initiation from Ori, they delete Boxy from the map, so it's a 1-for-1 in this little mini engagement. Now XXS, he's gonna get split earth with Matu just right-clicking him. Looks like that's gonna be enough with the adaptive strike as well. And Aster, like they're gonna retreat despite having the Aegis for another 3 minutes.
Nice dodge on the hook there from Liquid. Both of their heroes sidestepped it to the right. If that connects this fight, it's totally different, but they dodged that Ori play. And also great play call there from Mickey to go for the Omni in this situation. It's not an obvious move that you're able to pull this off, but with the hook connection from Matsu, they get that kill. Sure, the trade-off for the Tusk isn't the best, but it's good enough. When Omni's out of play, suddenly you can access new targets. You know there's no BKB on XXS, and that dodge on the hook, crucial for how this fight plays out. Zai would have been in a very precarious position there, but I guess just run away and reset.
Now we joke that Matu doesn't play Morphling, and he's not really, he's playing Pudge, right? That's probably the reason he was laughing. Looking forward to getting that Agnum Scepter and turning into a big, juicy boy. I mean, how much stats does he get from that when he turns into a strength hero?
So you steal 20% of their strength, and then he steals 40% status resist because it's a strength hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's very meaningful.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still, obviously, part of the equation that Ori does have the Omni Knight. We cannot forget how much that matters in this instance, because even if Morph steals away a lot of Pudge's tankability, Pudge is there, or Omni's there to return it to him.
Yep, true.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It will be a tower for Aster bottom. Zaya's doing a lot of damage top from the fog. With
I mean, kind of what it feels like he needs to do at this point. It's only a 3k lead, though, for Aster, but again, with the Aegis, and now knocking on the high ground on the tier 3 bottom.
It's a slightly different vibe to this than the last push they did last game in a similar situation. Just like they're in a stronger spot.
Yeah, and Monet continuing to get sidekicks, which he didn't get last game, so we'll definitely expedite the high ground offense.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Top lane was being pressured a bit by Mata, actually forced out a fortification from Aster.
Boxy there.
But Ori, he wants to go in deep. Instant initiation, counter initiation from Liquid. Snowball connects, the zip in by Mickey, pops the BKB as well, but he gets dismembered. He's gonna die inside the BKB. No! Zips away with just a sliver of HP. Now can go heal up in the fountain. Now that the BKBs are down on Aster, but the hook comes out from Ori. Zai gets off the Bloodstone, but it matters not. The rot is too powerful. Now this Rax is under peril.
They're still pretty sustainable, Aster, with the Omni Knight. A lot of the time, Storm in situations like this can start finding kills when heroes stick around for too long, but Aster are not phased, they're not worried. They have enough in the tank to keep the heroes safe. You even see the salve here from XXS going to be up to full health again. And it's like nothing happened for Aster. The only thing that's really on cooldown here that matters is the Marcy BKB.
Oh, the blink hook, dismember, death for Insania. Aegis is down, but this is gonna be a full set of racks now. Ori has a BKB. I mean, not that they could kill him anyway before that.
Yeah. I guess the silver lining here for Liquid is that Mickey survived because of the status resistance and Kai Assange, right? He would have died
that's a good
otherwise.
point.
So, I mean, it's a very thin silver lining. It's like, it could have been worse, but essentially you got basically nothing and lost a full lane. And Aster are gonna start looking to push out the other 2 lanes on the map to keep this pressure. Now, bottom lane's going to be a constant issue that Liquid have to deal with to get pushed out, and that means ASTER will look to push out mid first and actually making a rotation toward top, feeling like they could find Mickey up here. This time he will have BKB again. It's been that long. Pichu's taking the outpost. That will be a giveaway to Mickey that they fear. He also has a ward there, keeping him safe.
Ori is eyeing a Shiva's as the next item.
He is. It's kind of incredible that Matu has higher net worth than him, actually. I just looked and I was like, that's very surprising. Ori has 10 kills.
Doesn't feel like it.
Like 200 CS. Well, Matu has almost 300.
He did go Lincoln, so it's not really a damage build, right?
Right.
But now he's going Scotty. He's only a point booster away. But I feel like it's going to be one item on top of the Scotty before he's really dishing out damage, like a butterfly or whatever he wants to end up going.
Damage.
I mean, is there any? No, you're not going to go BKB this game. It's way too defensive on top of the
Dire's
Lincoln.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, you probably don't go BKB at least yet. I don't know what the best option he has really is. Can you even go like dataless after this? Just really hard commit on the damage part so you have a way of killing Pudge? Because I feel like that's what this game comes down to right now. For Liquid, the problem is they don't kill the heroes they need to kill. ASTER's lineup's just way too tanky of a wall, and they're so confident they're going to go up without Aegis. Almost landing the hook there, already trying for a blind one into the tree line. This is a possible fight for Liquid because there's no Aegis this time on Sniper, but if ASTER continue to have good formation and very good coverage with wards from the right, it's hard to find that attack angle that Liquid need, and ASTER are going to constantly pressure this tower with Liquid Fire, with Shrapnel plus attacks from Sniper.
Yeah, they're zip on in. They want to get the Omni Knight immediately. Will they get him? He gets 4 steps to safety. There's the Guardian Angel just in time, and Mickey has to buy back after dying right off the bat, and Matu is dead as well. A terrible fight for Liquid as the BKBs have come out from ASTER. Now they can just focus down Zai. Another death, another kill from Monet. Ultra kill overall. Ori wants another hook, he gets it! Mickey completely out of mana as Monet trying to finish the job, but able to zip away is Mickey again, but Foxy slow to a crawl and a rampage! Monet just sitting in the back while his fat friend does all the work, and he gets 5 to his name.
Just an insane strategy from ASTER, but I really think Liquid's idea of jumping the Omni Knight there feels like the only possible way that they can win a fight, and ASTER were just quick enough to react. I think it was a defensive dispose from XXS that threw Omni away. He gets Guardian Angel off, and the moment that happens, the fight is actually lost. I think it doesn't matter what Liquid do after that point. They just need to try and disengage and look for a better opportunity, but it's too late. They can't get out. Pudge gets on top of them with a rod. They lose a lot of heroes. Oh, try here.
Yeah, Mickey. Oh my god, the damage.
Don't underestimate Monet. He's just picked up a Silver Edge. He hits really damn hard now. They do get the melee Rex.
Oh, and there's a double damage.
And there is a Rosh in a minute 20, which neither team knows, obviously.
This was the attempt to delete Siamese Cat, but he got off the Guardian Angel, and Liquid just lose the fight after that.
There's just way too much damage. Matu can't stand his ground. He's pretty tanky, right? He's got Lincoln's, Ags, Scotty, and he turned into Pudge, I think. Didn't matter. There's way too much damage.
Got it.
This ASTER lineup just proving to be formidable so far in the game. And if they... Oh.
Okay. Insania, he's dead.
He went scouting. He found them.
Yeah, we can see that Roche won't be up for another 45 seconds, so ASTER just biding their time. Just want to play disciplined Dota, make sure they don't throw any leads.
Here's the tricky part for Liquid, though. If they give away this second Roche, I think the game is effectively lost. But the Roche will spawn before Insania is up. So if ASTER are in position at the time it spawns, they could effectively force a 5v4. And even if it's just the Maiden, it's still a pretty crucial thing for Liquid to not have there. It's a Force Staff that's out of play, it's an AoE slow that's out of play. ASTER just need to keep scouting it, and if they recognize it, they will be able to grab it for free.
And I believe a courier will be sitting in the Roche pit. Never mind.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work anymore. But Roche number 2
will try to force it back. I like this. This is another approach, maybe. Maybe you can defend Roche by pushing bottom. force a rotation, but Aster just elect to use the glyph here to maintain Rose control, rather than TP back basically any hero that could have defended that tower.
Yeah, I think Matu's gonna, maybe they just give up the Aegis and Shard and try to get a Rax themselves. Matu going to town on this tier 3, but it's gonna force a TP out. Jakiro actually cancels it.
But Matu will still be scared off, and that is the Roche. And now the problem for Liquid is, okay, so it's extremely hard to take this fight that you kind of have to take, so you're going to try to make this split push play, but the only lane you can split is the one that the enemy team has strong creeps in. So Aster just going to force down mid, and the bottom lane will defend itself no problem unless Matu knocks on the front door. He's the only hero that can do anything about it. He's not doing it. Too many heroes missing on Aster, he doesn't feel safe.
Monet with the Aegis, he takes the Shard as well, so has the concussive grenade. Even more slippery. It feels like the initiations from Mickey are pretty crucial. And this feels like a game you need to go Ags or something, but he's just going to be too far away. Actually, the Orchid is a good choice against the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
That is one way to try to counteract. But the problem is he has an Aeon Disc, he has a Force Staff. That's going to be
They actually can't prevent him from getting spells off anymore. It's just impossible with the lineup they have.
Need to get a Nullifier, which is very expensive.
Nobody wants to buy it. They have no Dispel for him at all, and yeah, he just needs to not get chain stunned to death and silence. Just get a Force Staff ulti off and a Heavenly Grace, and he's basically done his job. So yeah, so that play is out of the window now too. Pichu identifying that is the one play Liquid had based on the previous fight, and he's eliminating that one. So if Liquid can't force them back, they have no reposition. I mean, they have an offensive Force Staff on Insania. I'm starting to look for kind of desperate approaches because it feels like
Force Staff into the splitter that is already on the ground.
I mean, otherwise this just happens, right?
Oh my god!
All right.
All right.
That was close.
That hook went right through the 2 polygons that exist for Morphling. Not including the cosmetics, of course. Very quick fingers from Matu, but again, they are on the back foot. BKB picked up by Zai.
Yep.
And this is, like, they have good defense with Lesh and the Tusk to some degree as well.
They just have absolutely zero map control, right? That's the problem. Bottom is pushing in, mid is pushing in, and top is now also starting to cross the halfway mark. And if Aster want, they can cut the next wave top. So Liquid are completely cornered. Matu's going to turn into Sniper, so taking away some of that agi.
Monet takes a little take aim action to himself, a little right click action from Matu, but I mean they're delaying it, but again the lead is still growing in Aster's favor. There's no technical rush for them.
And Aster's probably going to find this ward now too that is giving Liquid some really good information, right? Because now this camp is blocked and they're like, wait, what? And there we go. So the last little bit of vision that Liquid had left given away by the camp itself. And you might wonder, like, why do you place a ward there? Isn't that going to be obvious to the enemy team when the camp doesn't spawn? Yes, but at the same time, it's really not an obvious spot to place it to begin with. So the sentries that you usually put in this area, which you see from Aster, the first sentry that they have did not find the ward, but ultimately they get it.
Yeah, looking for the jump onto Matu. They're all smoked on the low ground. Overwhelming blink, not quite up yet for Ori, but
yeah, this is kind
ready
of
to go.
telegraphed because nobody is, like, Zai is getting pretty far top.
Yeah, they scanned it. They just scanned it right now. Trying to delete the ward. They do so. The hook is in, but Ori not able to connect. Aster having to reset, still with a minute 20 on the Aegis. Now they can just do the old sniper trick again. Get this tower kill. That's the biggest thing preventing them from getting into the high ground anyway, on top of the split earth, of course. Linken's is popped now. Hook not connecting again from Ori, but there's the punch from Boxy into the hook from Matu. Already half HP on Monet, but again, he still has the Aegis, and Zai getting destroyed. My goodness, he melted. Freezing Field comes out just for a split second, but it matters not. A second death for Liquid. Hook on into Monet, but he gets a concussive grenade off again. And Liquid crumbling here in game number 2. Aster coming back with a vengeance, looking to get the mega creeps. Fireback comes out on Matu as one last potential stand here from Liquid. Mickey not able to do too much. A nice ice path comes out into the dual breath. They find the Pudge finally, but how much is it going to cost them? Foxy ticking away ever so slowly. Matu, the last remaining member of Liquid after the buyback now. He turns into Pudge, or he's still Pudge in fact, as the Rot just getting kited, finally gets disposed back into the ice path, and he's actually staying alive thanks to the strength morph. Has to reset back into the fountain. Foxy has to be careful. This would be a dieback for him. He's gonna tick away.
Matu had 6,000 health because he also had the strength from Pudge.
That is a very beefy boy as the mega creeps now come out. Aster, massive advantage here. GG still not called. It's only a matter of time here as the last tier 4 will fall. Matu and Zai trying to get something up. Really want to kill Monet now that the Aegis is gone, but the Ice Path is there. Hurricane Pike on top, and that is going to be the death of Liquid in game number 2. So Aster, they come back really nicely to push this to 3 games.
Yeah, that's got to be really good for their confidence. You know, in that first game, the first game was really close. There were plenty of opportunities in that game where Aster could have maybe started getting a big advantage. They didn't manage to claim it. Liquid ended it in a swift move. This game, Aster pretty much dominating more or less from start to finish. There were a couple of glimpses from Liquid, but for the most part, Aster just crushed them. I love their draft. I think the Omni Knight last pick was brilliant. They get their Pudge on Ori mid against the Storm of Mickey. He gets a solo kill. That's about as good as it could have gone for Aster, so we'll see. Liquid have had their backs against the wall many times already.
Yep.
They're definitely not scared of a game 3.
That is very, very true. This is going to be a hype game 3 for sure. Let's go to the panel, see what they have to say about this Pudge performance from Ori.
Thank you very much, Suns fan and Sinner. And indeed, a game 3. We wanted a game 3. We're getting a game 3. Very excited for it. But first, let's talk about how we got there, because this game definitely was a little bit of a change up from Aster in terms of game 1 versus game 2, because it was incredibly dominating here, Lacoste, for them. They were so difficult to kill.
It was. I really didn't feel the influence of this Storm Spirit pick. I think Aster put them into a trap where both supports, we're talking about Omni Knight, if he gets the Heavenly Grace off and Jakiro, a hero that has a lot of strength gain, they're very difficult to pick off, and they always had a really good read where Team Liquid is gonna strike. So Storm did try a couple of times at the early stages of the game to try to go in and get some pick-offs going, but it was not successful. And I want to talk about timings as well. Being able to get Aghanim Scepter on Pudge at the same timing as Leshra gets the Bloodstone, and then taking a fight, reducing Morphling's healing and also healing from the Bloodstone. All I'm gonna say, if Pudge is played by Ori, you got nothing to worry.
Now, honestly, what...
Or you don't need it. Okay.
Sorry. Don't be sorry. No, I honestly think that was just an incredible performance by Ori. I mean, if your Pudge is solo killing the enemy Storm Spirits in the mid lane, that's more than you could ever ask for, right? His items came at right the amount of time. Siamese Cat on the Omni Knight knew just when to play with the Pudge and when to stop playing with his sniper, and it just felt like all of the pieces of Aster's draft aligned with each other so nicely. And I just love the fact that they took the Marcy away from Boxy, right? They had previously beaten the Marcy twice in their upper bracket series versus Liquid, but they just lost to it. Instead of being shaken or maybe questioning their openers, they take the Marcy for themselves, which they then pivot into an offline Marcy with the last pick Omni Knight, which I think nobody was prepared for here. So I'm just really impressed by how Aster handled that game 2. And these game 2s at TI always turn into Pudge territory, sniper territory,
Sniper Pudge,
SF
baby.
territory. Yeah, you don't want to get eliminated without potentially just trying your best and going for your cheese picks. So honestly, 10 out of 10 draft there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love the Omni. Like we've talked about, and Liquid even said it in the interview that Aster, they play together. You've said a bunch of times they play for team fights. What's a better hero to play this positioning death ball meta than Pudge, Sniper, Omni? So you have the repositioning on your side. You want 4 heroes that are all protecting the Sniper. You have the Omni who can save people if the enemy team tries to jump in, isolate one hero. It's if you are good at the team play element of Dota, this is one of the best drafts that I've ever seen for that. And I would expect a potential Omni ban in the later phases of the draft in Game 3.
I wouldn't be surprised with that dominating performance indeed. We actually have an Omni Knight specialist as part of our talent crew. We're heading over to him right now. It is Sir Action Select. Omni Knight specialist as part of our talent crew. We're heading over to him right now. It is Sir Action Select.
You bet your booty I'm an Omniac specialist. We have 90 seconds to give away 2 Storm Spirit pillows after that Storm Spirit. I want to hear the best Storm Spirit impressions. If you can do a Storm Spirit impression, so raise your hand. Can you do it?
Zip.
All right. Can anyone do a Storm Spirit? Right.
Haha, I'm here.
Audience? Oh. Storm Spirit impression, sir. Zip. Jeez, what is wrong with you guys? All right, come on, somebody. Okay, hurry.
Storm Spirit.
That was pretty good. Take your pillow. Thank you very much. Anyone else? We got a few more seconds here, my boy. Excuse me, sir. This will be a tight fit. Excuse me. There we go. Perfect. Sir, please be good.
Storm Spirit.
All right, that's good enough for me. Can you beat him?
I don't know.
Okay, great. There you go. Thank you very much. All right, back to the panel. Woo!
I'm not going to remember.
Well, okay. Thank you, Slacks, for that. Yeah, I didn't have high standards set for the Storm Spirit sounds, but it worked out and people got free stuff, so we're all happy for them. Who we're also happy for is Matumaman, because he made it very deep in a tournament that he, from the get-go, had already said, Effie, it's his last ever.
It's very sad, but I mean, for a last run, he's performing spectacularly. We saw it in that earlier video where he talked about how he felt like he messed up that first game versus Thunder. He went into the bathroom, he washed his face, and he said, you've done this before, you've done this so many times, and he delivered for his team. And we've talked time and time again about how Boxy showed up, how Mika has showed up, but Matu has shown up in spades. I think he's playing some of the best Dota in his life right now, and his teammates are just so inspired to get this win for him before his last run.
And with that in mind, we actually do also have his teammates talking about Matu's retirement.
To put it frankly, it sucks. Because I think, you know, like, right now I feel like I just want to keep playing with him.
He's a really good dude. He's very stoic, he's very Finnish, but he's also very good at Dota.
I mean, the reason why I'm retiring is I was already contemplating after last year's TI. Like, after losing this, I felt like sometimes it hits harder, sometimes it hits a little bit less. I mean, in the moment, you always go with emotions that why you could have done better. Your mind just keeps like barraging you with these feelings and like what you should have done. Did you throw the game for your team? And it's truly miserable feeling. Feel like this was your worth, kind of like what you put into this year. This moment was the worth, and you weren't good enough. This year, obviously, I mean, I was crying after that lower bracket final against Team Spirit. I mean, it's heartbreaking to lose that way.
Will he get another rampage at TI-10? Absolutely, Yatoro! And they're going to call GG. The underdog story is still alive. Team Spirit move on to the grand final.
It just doesn't satisfy me equally anymore. Like, I just feel tired. I'm doing it out of sense of it's my job and duty to become better, or like stay at least like as good as I was before, or like maintaining the form. I feel like whatever you choose to devote all your life for, you better do it like fully hearted. Like, there's no way I'm gonna half-ass this thing. Like, it's gonna eat me alive. That's how I feel.
I think this year, especially on the team that we're on now, he's kind of embraced more of a leadership type of thing. So he's kind of got that. Yeah, he's our stoic, bearded Finnish leader.
For me, I think this year maybe not that sad, because I get to relax after this and enjoy my retirement days. So for me, it's really a win-win, you know?
It sucks. There's no real other way to put it.
The Dota scene, I think, is gonna miss him once he's gone.
I don't think it's like a very reluctant leave, but hopefully he'll do what Jerax did and come back in a few years, and we'll be waiting with open arms.
They're with you. Wow.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. Sure about that, guys.
I just saw him.
Don't worry, he's very much alive. And he has had a fantastic fantastic career. Still having it, by the way. He's not out just yet. There's, of course, one more game, and he could potentially go all the way with that as well. But we wanted to make sure that we highlighted because this is a TI winner, one of the two still remaining in the tournament. And Lacoste, it is definitely a guy to be celebrated.
Oh, most definitely. I like how the rest of the team also does celebrate Matu in a way. You know, even after a couple of years, if he wants to come back, they're going to be waiting for him. Definitely a good dude, you know, gives you that energy. And I like the way he talked about, you know, giving his 100%. You can feel it in the way that he plays, also taking the leadership role a little bit. But he gave everything. This is what you need to do when you're playing professional Dota, like at this level. And I think we can, you know, see Matu in the next 3 months sitting at the boat, just enjoying himself.
Oh, you know he will.
That makes sense considering he was part of the 4 anchors plus the sea captain.
I believe he was the sea captain.
And if he wasn't if he was an anchor, he has definitely qualified as officially a sea captain.
He's definitely not an anchor of this.
Not an anchor. Sea captain in the eyes of millions of people out there in the world.
For sure. We all know a retirement in Dota 2
doesn't mean
it's hard. Apparently people can't.
It's too good.
The game just keeps pulling you back in.
I think that if you're competing at this level, you have this strong drive to just always be good, to be the best, to play for that glory and not necessarily for financial reasons. And this sense of competition inside of these players is so strong that it's hard for them to stay away. But he did mention in the video that at this point he's just tired. It feels like a chore to him right now, and when you reach that level of burnout, you do owe it to yourself to just see what your next step in life is. So I fully support him in all of his endeavors, and I mean, he's just one of the greatest players to touch Dota. His results have been excellent. He's been on some of the most emotional stories, from winning TI with a team to getting kicked, then getting 3rd place, to now going through the last chance qualifiers when people counted them out. I mean, this guy is just really part of so many awesome stories.
Yeah, he also was in the live studio that got the 1 HP Pango. I think that moment will be immortalized in Dota 2 history for sure. Just like I think all TI winners are immortalized, and all these guys want to be TI winners. Yes, Matu and Poppy already still in and are already immortalized, but they want to do it again. And all these guys going back to their booths, they just want to make sure to win just 1 game of Dota 2 to make it to the final day, because that is all that is standing between them and a lower bracket finals. 1 game, Jenkins.
That's absolutely right, Shiver. He is from Finland, but of course Matamamoment does not want to be finished after this game. He wants to continue playing.
Yes.
High five, Lacoste.
Yeah, very good.
Go on, Jackie.
How long were you sitting on that?
At least 5 minutes.
Well, thank you for getting that out just in time. Now, we've talked a lot about the teams, and earlier on we heard Team Liquid talk about ASTER, and now we're going to hear ASTER talk about Team Liquid.
Liquid 其实在这么些年一直是一支很强的队伍。
我觉得他们因为一直在进步吧，因为他们首先从突围上打上来的，然后一直在就跟进自己的打法，然后再努力的改进自己的错误。
我觉得他们的那个教练挺能领神的，因为我昨天在网上看见了他们的那个语音聊天，他们在赛前，然后他们会一起团结鼓励一下，就是说一些大家能团结的话，这样。
我觉得他们主要是马图巴曼为这个队一直在改。就是他能适应各种的打法，就是马图巴曼就是为这个队付出很多。
虽然之前我们2比0了他们，但是他们能重新杀回来，但是然后也是不容小觑的吧，所以我们依然还是会很重视他们。
And they have been taking them very seriously, which is why we're here in this 3rd and final game of this elimination series. Who will take that spot tomorrow? We'll have to wait to find out. But I want to hear from my panel what's going to be the key element in this 3rd game, according to them, Lacoste.
According to them, I mean, Team Liquid, they did go like full 5 heroes, blue heroes, last pick, water, literally, and it didn't work out for them. And also one thing to know is if we want to like check the pattern that has been happening during the main event is all Western European teams are eliminated by other Western European teams. So, you know, Team Liquid does have an upper hand here, and then we have 3 European teams left in top 3 that can eliminate each other.
But To that, I would counter being the sole Chinese team left in the top 4, and after having eliminated PSG LGD, who are the fan favorites in China, ASTER are really feeling that pressure of needing to perform here, because not only do you want to win for yourselves, now you feel like you're going to win for an entire region, you're carrying the hopes. So they definitely are equally as motivated in Liquid, but I just love seeing how much these two teams respect each other. I mean, the way that they talk about each other, the way that they just value each player individually and have obviously put in a lot of time preparing for each other is going to make for a great series of Dota. I mean, I think this last game is going to be a banger.
It's good for ASTER that they didn't feeling the weight of an entire region, especially such a proud region, could be crushing, especially after game 1. So it's this is a scary team considering they feel that weight, and instead of it crushing them, it empowers them. And maybe that's our boy Lanham that's partly to blame for that success.
For ASTER, I feel like personally they perform the best when XXS is on an initiator type of hero. We saw in that game 1 he was playing the Underlord, who obviously provided a lot for the draft and the team in terms of map movements. But when it comes to the way that they've traditionally taken these team fights on the back of his Mars, on the back of his other awesome initiations, if they lack that, it does feel like overall they are playing a little bit worse. So what I want to see for this game 3 coming out of ASTER is just putting XXS on that initiation hero and just depending on him to win these team fights.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about Marcy in that case, because we have seen Marcy win both games and in very successful fashion. Obviously, Boxy was the star of the show for game 1. XXS on the offlane Marcy Lacoste are doing the same thing.
Yeah, the hero, I mean, this is the reason why this hero is the most popular hero of this international, just being able to close the gap. Strong laner scales really well into the mid-late game. We saw Boxy in game 1 that he can also scale from position 4. Like, people did figure out Marcy going for BKB instead of the previous builds that we had, like Blink, Ether Lens, type of a build. And you did say Marcy win both games, but also Lashrak lost both games. And that's a big question mark for me for the game 3. Whether teams are going to prioritize this hero in the first phase, I feel like it's gonna be a no.
I think there's still merit to this hero. They just have to kind of set up for it a little better, right? Because, for example, if that Pudge from game 2 had been a Lashrak potentially playing with an Omni Knight, it could have looked better for him. But I do agree with Lacoste that it does seem solved at this point. But for Liquid, what I do want to see is Boxy on another roaming 4 just demolishing the game. Like, he has been the bread and butter early game winner for Liquid. He's the one who goes from lane to lane. He just has so much impact early on. So absolutely do not put this man on some backline support. Do not do it. Just give him what he's best at.
Yeah, it's something that I was a little bit worried about seeing Baboka on a Jakiro, Jenkins, but he crushed that one too.
Yeah, he did very well in that game. I mean, especially after the game 1 performance, it's like, no, like, give him a playmaker. Like, this guy's clearly on fire right now. But in game 2, I guess he was actually literally on fire given the Jakiro.
Only one half.
Yeah, only on 50-50. But no, he played really well. I mean, the thing is with Jakiro is, like, for good Jakiros, it kind of is an initiation to a degree, because, like, if you're coming out of a smoke, for example, you can hit with, like, a clutch ice path. Like, at least there still is, like, clutch potential with Jakiro because of the ice path ability.
Other abilities are not as flashy. Like, you can't really do much, but he did some work. Yeah. He really put in some really good work.
It's time to find out what's going to happen. Game 3, ASTER Liquid. Let's go.
Team Liquid versus Team ASTER. Game 3.
Game number 3. Loser goes home, winner stays alive. A lot of storylines, of course. Last Chinese team, Matu. Talked a lot about him. Everybody's rooting him on, of course. But last game, what kind of adjustments do you guys expect to see?
Marcy, bro. Marcy's bad.
Neither team will get Marcy.
Yeah, get that hero out. Won both games when it got picked, and also once again, Liquid second pick, ASTER first pick. I think it makes total sense.
I think these teams almost always first faced Primal Beast when it was in the pool.
That's
and
also
it was ignored last game.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Primal Beast got ignored last time, and Aster goes for Maiden, snatching from Liquid.
Yeah, so if you're new to Dota and you haven't watched so much, generally in best of threes, a hero that loses the first 2 games is then first pick in the 3rd game. That's very normal. Happens all the time because there's nothing better than seeing a hero that got crushed twice, winning the 3rd game to show that you're the best.
It's not her fault.
Give me Nick Slash right now.
Nick Slash?
Let's go.
I wonder also, I mean, what's in the heads of Liquid right now probably is a Sniper 8. Like, Aster seems so confident with that hero, they just literally picked him at 8 last time. And Liquid right now is probably like, not in the easiest spot about this. You're probably already making up your minds for it. But Nick Slash might be decent no matter what. Nyx is pretty good against a Sniper, you can carry base a Shrapnel if it would come out.
So just to clarify, when you say Sniper 8, you mean the 8th overall choice of the draft. That means
Yes,
both teams have done 2 bans.
Yeah.
That means it's the 4th pick.
Yeah, sorry. This is like
pro player lingo.
Yeah, it's pro player lingo. So
sorry, yeah.
it's a good way of referring to, like, once you're in the lingo, of referring to the order in which heroes are picked. But if you're not familiar with the lingo, you're like, Sniper 8? I thought the highest roll was 5. But
okay, so they do the Tusk Lina over the Lash track.
So they're preparing for Lash.
Preparing for Lash, yeah, it's good against the Lash if they would pick it. I think Aster could go for the Sniper once again though, if they wanted it. I mean, they picked the Sniper against the Lina in the first series, the first game, sorry.
Yep.
So they could just opt for it again.
5 seconds.
It's also Nyx in pool, Lash in pool.
Is Lina good against Primal Beast net? That's the question.
I think it's definitely like decent for sure. Like, you should do pretty good.
Has Ori played Primal much this tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He has?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't recall, none of the games we had with Aster, he has been playing Primal, but...
Okay. And the Sniper is a ban out. They're like, okay, take the beast, ban the Sniper.
So how likely is this Primal mid?
No, they play it offlane, but...
I think pretty likely. It's still a flex in the end, but like Lina's usually do fine, but it's a bit like two-sided because like the Probies can also get on top of the Lina. So with like one rotation, for example, the Lina always has to be scared of like potentially dying. So Ori is probably fine with playing it, and it's in the end like they picked it into the Lina. Also, Oracle Lifestealer ban. I don't quite get the Oracle ban, what that is for. Did they ban it last game? I don't recall. It's a bit of a special ban. Lifestealer makes sense. Matu loves the hero, good against Bramble Beast. Liquid sticking to the Mars ban as always. They didn't at last or get that pick the last 2 times. Probably leading into Pango ban as well.
I guess something to say about the Oracle ban is, first of all, it's one of Insania's absolute best heroes. Even when the hero isn't popular in the meta, he will still pick it. It blocks a ton of Primal Beast's damage, right?
True,
I guess. It blocks the entire trample, it blocks the pulverize, it gives you a hard save against the primal. I guess it's one of the few things in the game that can even stop a pulverize, right?
That's true. Yeah, I guess the Fate's Edict is really good.
And you also protect yourself from a potential like Huskar Oracle second phase where they pick the Oracle first and now you kind of have to, you know, cover that base and then they don't even need to go there. So I do think there's value in it, but it is definitely not a common choice here that Aster are going with. Did they? I feel like they banned it last game.
Yeah,
too.
I'm not sure as well. They might have banned it. In the end, it's one of Insania's best heroes, or maybe his best hero after all. Also, we see the Pudge being banned out. This time Aster bans it, even though they did really well with that hero last game. But already they got the Primal Beast, which they might put on mid, so it's a bit weird to pick the Pudge with that.
Is this telling you that they want Lesh? That they banned the Pudge? Is that setting up for that?
Maybe they just think that Liquid also loves it. Like, they run a lot of this Lina Pudge combo, where like the Pudge is like a semi-core and the Lina out of mid carries the game eventually, and playing the Mountain Pudge. Interesting to note here that this is the first game that Pango is available in the second stage.
Yep.
As in, like, Liquid did not ban it, they banned the Omni instead, which looked pretty damn good too. So the Pango is definitely in both teams' minds right now. Liquid might pick it up right now as both Mickey and Zai play it.
Team Aster's turn to pick.
Before 9.
Okay.
A hero that was first picked many games early on in the tournament.
And disappeared completely almost in the last few days.
Well, now Pango is pretty good.
Yeah, so how much importance would you put on Aster having a way of breaking Tombstone? Is that something they specifically need to pick for in this game, or can you kind of play around it? Primal Beast is obviously very mobile.
First of all, they need a hero that can even lane against Undying.
Yeah.
That's highest priority, I would say.
Yeah, Undying like has like these 2 annoying aspects, right? It's very dominant laning stage, but also then later the Tombstone, so you can kind of think about the hero in two ways. I mean, in terms of hitting Tombstone, the Lina is already on Liquid, which is a normal answer to hitting Tombstone. The Sniper is also banned, so they could also just go for the approach that if the Tombstone is put on, they just run away from it, basically.
Something that Liquid have banned in the series as well was the Naga Siren, which teams have used in the past. You just Song of the Siren, you break the tomb. Is that... I guess Naga doesn't look appealing enough here that you can pick it with these two picks before Liquid get a counter pick into the second ban phase.
It's interesting. It also depends who on Aster will play the Naga in the end. Some people play it on +3 and 1 as well. Oh, they go home.
All right.
Nice call. Does XXS play the Naga?
Is it +4 Naga maybe?
I guess it's flex for now, right?
Yeah, +4 Naga is very possible.
Attack speed aura for the tomb as well. Probably not the primary reason they're getting it, but what's the Beastmaster logic in this spot?
Beastmaster, good hero. Can pick.
All right.
Does this mean anything for Primal Beast's position? Are you expecting a 4, or can he still go?
I'm expecting Primal Beast mid and +4 or carry Naga.
Yeah, I think so too. Interesting though, I think that Undying is a pretty strong lane against Beastmaster, right? So
yeah, but really bad against Naga.
Yeah. I mean, do you lane Naga Beast into Undying?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, that definitely works.
That's interesting. And the Pangolier. There we go.
Whoa. They already have a hard lockdown for the role here. They have the Beastmaster. I guess if it's a carry Naga, you could see the Ags come out as well, right? Is that a concern for Liquid?
You can always shard the IX net on Pango.
Okay.
So you can also shard, the net gets spells, right? And then you keep rolling. Yeah, it's a nice mechanic you can always abuse. I think if the Naga is +1, maybe she goes Axe, but she might just go for the other core items instead.
It's a pretty solid lane for a carry Naga. Tusk Pango doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of games, it's not the most free illusion game hero, I guess, because of the Pangolier. Pangolier is one of the best illusion gear heroes, but it's playable, I guess.
Monet loves Drow.
Drow still in pool?
Yep.
Yeah, Drow still in pool, actually. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Might get.
Drow looks pretty interesting, I agree.
I think Monet likes Morph. Also very good.
He played an insane Morph at CI7. I remember that when LFY looked like the team that was going to win the whole tournament at one point. Monet's Morph was scary.
So Liquid thinks it's a carry Naga as they ban on Snapfire. So...
I mean, whether they think it or not, you kind of have to pick your poison, right? They probably identify the options that Aster have, and they just probably choose the path that they think is the least scary, which is a support that kills Tombstone on its own. Would you agree with that?
It's interesting. I think this is a better offlane Lash game than last game. But this game, they went for Pango instead.
I mean, Pango was always banned as well.
Yeah, they banned it themselves last year.
Liquid's turn to ban.
Aster bans a Bloodseeker. This is also interesting. As like, you know, Aster is the team who plays against Pangolier, so they don't like it.
Is that
it's actually hard to tell.
This Bloodseeker ban, is that just, okay, well, what does Matsu play well? It's Lone and Bloodseeker that we're most scared of? Or is this setting them up for their next pick? They obviously don't have the ultimate last pick, so they're going to have to show something key here.
I think it is good against Drow.
Okay. The Seeker?
Yeah.
It's definitely already good against Primal Beast, I guess. Like, of course, Rapture counters like the hero who has to move to deal damage.
What if they would have picked it themselves against Pango?
That's what I was thinking. Like, they could have picked it themselves on Aster. For the Rapture and Wolf, like, against Lina it's decent, against Pangolier it's very good. But they opt to not do so. They would have had a very melee-oriented lineup, so maybe that's why I don't like it so much.
So you're still Team Drow here?
It's not bad, yeah. It looks. The question is, what would Liquid pick if they would draw an Aster?
The Aster picks Drow every game they can, I feel like. Either that or carry Naga.
What was Forza cool as well? I like the Drow a lot. Drow against Lina is also legit, and there we go.
Nice call.
Is it Tumblum and Lycan?
Oh, that would be...
Lycan against...
That would be very interesting.
Drow. Does he play it? Does he like it?
I mean, I don't know if he likes it.
Oh, we've already established that Matsu doesn't play Morph for some reason, so I guess we can also say he doesn't play Lycan, which is like one of his best heroes.
Bane is a bit annoying maybe, but I mean, of course, besides that, it's pretty decent.
For now, you have Beastmaster problems first of all, so
yeah,
you need to deal with that lane first.
You can't pull off Phantom Lancer, right? It's also one of the classic counters to Drow. It's too hard against Primal Beast, I
feel like they will even lose lane against Naga Beast.
Yeah, it's too rough.
this Naga B second stage seeming to work out. It's crazy. But I'm curious how that lane will go nonetheless. But yeah, PL also a bit annoying against to play against Maiden and the Beast. But that's still a pool even.
Lifestealer, which kind of sucks, right? It's banned actually. Never mind.
It's a random Ursa, but it's also not good.
Oh.
Matu go. Maybe it's a Lycan in the end.
I guess Lycan or PL are our best ideas. So
I like Lycan.
Lycan is the closest thing to Lone Druid that you're going to get, right?
I feel like we're missing out on something. I feel like we're missing out on something. Knights.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh no.
All right. That is safe lane carry NS.
I feel like this Naga will destroy this lane so hard.
Wow.
Okay, this is very special.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have to choose a winner now after seeing that.
I think Toby is on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm on board with ASTER, guys.
I mean, I feel like the Lina is like decently strong this game. She has to play against Raw and Drow though. It's not easy. I mean, this Night Stalker last pick I'm a bit curious about. I don't think it's the freest Night Stalker game. I feel like Beastmaster should have a good lane against it.
Do you feel like Night Stalker is a solution against Drow in general? Like, he can obviously get on top of her, but the supporting cast around it with Song of the Siren, with Roar.
Yeah, sort of. I guess like this draft is really based around Mickey and Lina. Like this Lina is like the turret that is going to stand in the front and 4 heroes go in for him. So if Mickey is like having a good start, he can carry this game.
Okay, so with that, I believe Sir Action Slacks is with Blitz. Let's see what they have to say about this game number 3 draft.
Hello everybody. I am here with Blitz DOTA yet again of Team Liquid. Sir, I know you guys usually run down the clock for the memes, but that one looked like you were really discussing till the end. Do you feel like this is one of the harder drafts that you guys have had to do this event?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. ASTER is such a sick team. We're really scratching our heads, and we told Matu, if it's the last game, what do you want to play? What do you want to go out on? What do you want to have fun on? And so we let him choose.
All right, and there we go. The Night Stalker, huh? Do you believe in his choice? Do you think he's got it? Does he feel it? He got the energy from the booth?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. I mean, he's a pretty bad Night Stalker, but, you know, it's his choice.
All right, my friend. Well, I gave Lanham the choice last time, so I'm going to let you have one more speech out there to everybody watching. You're a crowd favorite here, so any words out there to the audience?
Yeah, you know, if this is our last game and this is Lasse's last game, I know he really appreciated all the support. It truly means a lot to me just to be up here. We're blessed every single day. Thank you to the fans that are watching. You really make this all possible. Every year I realize that more and more. So thank you everybody who came here to see Lasse play and the rest of our team. This one's for you.
All right, we'll throw it right over to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, Slacks and Blitz. And like you said, game 3 underway. And I believe the first 10-minute discussion here by both of us will be about Matu Night Stalker and what we think. I mean, the idea of a hero jumping on top of Drow makes sense. I would assume an Aghanim Scepter might be something that he'll prioritize, along with obviously the BKB and a Blink Dagger. Am I missing anything else here? You can eat the boar when you get the shard. Actually, you can eat whatever Helm of the Dawn, right? Does that work?
Yeah, you can
during
eat
nighttime.
You can eat the Helm of the Overlord even.
Yeah.
Right. It's the only thing in the game that counters that, which I think was a big part of what inspired.
Is that only during nighttime, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The battle begins.
I believe so.
So it's all about getting.
Now you're making me question myself.
Yeah, I know. I do that all the time. Sorry about that. Boxy's going to ice shard his way onto the low ground, but he's going to be met by Boboka. We have some nice blocks.
Yeah, it only targets Ancients at night, so that's the only time he can kill the Overlorded Ancient creature.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, this is a completely out of left field pick. Nobody expected it. You heard Entity; they were not expecting it at all. Stormstormer and Toby, obviously, and I'd be willing to bet that ASTER had no clue this was coming either. So, you know, that's sometimes surprise picks like this show up amazingly, and sometimes they fall flat. Either way, it's a really creative response here for Liquid, and it's a pretty polarizing carry. I'll say that much. Night Stalker has his games, but he also has games where he falls completely flat.
You are the expert on this hero too.
I used to play it mid. It was a different time. You don't go that build anymore. Well, to be fair, nobody went that build.
What was the build?
I went Earn Ewells.
Oh my god.
It was different. Yeah, it sounds horrible now, doesn't it?
Just awful.
It worked back then.
Your career makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
We are into the game.
Everyone was awful.
Siamese Cat getting pushed out here by Zai, playing the Pangolier. Yeah, talk to me about the Drow Ranger, because you guys all predicted it. Why is it so good this game?
So first of all, you have the Beastmaster aura, which is nice for ranged right-click carries. Secondly, Liquid don't have the best backline jump, right? And it's also just a favorite of Aster's in this tournament. You saw them play Sniper 2 games in a row. They like playing Monet on this heavy long-range artillery, so it just fits the bill. The only catch that Liquid had until they picked the Night Stalker that could maybe get on top of her is a Tusk or a Pango, which both kind of get countered by Force Staff. So you naturally want to buy Pike on this hero anyway, so it feels good. And that's why we have so much focus on this NS, because I think he has a very clear job in this game that he needs to perform. And if he does get to do that, it could look amazing. So mid lane, something we talked about as well, how well does Lina do against Primal? So far so good for Mickey. He's been playing a great Lina this tournament in general. He won with it in game 1.
Well, what's the reason that Primal, I wouldn't say he's fallen off necessarily, but he was completely ignored in the first 2 games, I believe. This is a hero that was picked or banned in basically every game in the group stage and a lot of the main stage.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't consider it good enough. It's hard to remember all the drafts by heart because there might have been some counters in play or other heroes picked that, you know, just bumped his priority down a little bit. But it was pretty surprising to see overall, given how even the later stages of this tournament, Primal's just been like a top tier prioritized hero.
I mean, we even cast a game, I believe it was Ace playing Primal Beast, where like there's 3 hard counters this year, and he destroyed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't even matter.
Oh, top lane, big damage onto Zai here.
Yep, he has a shield crash for that damage mitigation, but it's worn off now. Gets off the swashbuckle with the tag team combo as well, but it's not enough. Aster strikes first, and Monet is going to get help with this frostbite from Siamese Cat. Is it going to be enough for a double kill? Indeed. They get 1 each, and Aster on the board early, and obviously not a good start here for Liquid. You can see what they were going with the swashbuckle tag team combo is extremely strong. There's not enough damage yet.
Drow has pretty decent armor. She's playing with 7 armor in the lane with the Wraith Band. And Crystal Maiden is really good against this lane, I have to say. Like, the slow against Tusk is amazing for countering out tag team. You have Frostbite as a disarm as well. Like, there's not enough in the tank there for Liquid. And it's kind of understandable that I wouldn't say they're desperate, but they're really eager to try to find a kill in this lane because that's what's going to give them comfort. But that was just not the time. Maybe a level 3 timing would have been a lot stronger for them, with 2 in tag team perhaps, or 2 in the either crash or swashbuckle. See, Zai will choose the crash here. Instant frostbite. He's going to take quite a beating actually for getting that creep.
Gets the swash off, but he's going to lose a lot of creeps to denies, it looks like. Can't really get too close. You can hear Primal Beast just belching in the background. I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah, you love that.
Up top lane, got the multi-shot coming out. Siamese Cat's in a lot of trouble, though. He's going to get taken out finally here from the Liquid side. As Zai will barely get away. Monet just continuing to get these the CS. He's 16-5 right now versus the Night Stalker, which is Matu, of course, 23-3 in the opposite lane. So in terms of the position 1 CS, it's Liquid favored right now. But obviously kill-wise, not so much.
Yeah, Matu's finding some great farm for sure. He has 3 mangoes that he can use during nighttime, which is coming up. That could lead to a chase. Speaking of chase,
from Boxy, Monet, he's gonna get the multi-shot off, and they're just gonna turn this around onto Zai. Nice kill for Aster. An attempted TP out from Boxy should be fine.
Yeah, that's still, even if you survive there on Tusk, this still feels bad, right? Because you're abandoning a lane with creeps in, that all this experience just effectively going to waste now. Monet has been going to be close to level 5 when Zai returns on level 3. This top lane is just, it's toast for Liquid. This lane is not good, but the other 2 are going great. So both the Lina as well as the Night Stalker are having a good time, and as we talked about, nighttime now for Matu could lead to some aggression in the bottom lane.
Yep.
Unfortunately for him, Undying, not the best kill partner during nighttime. He kind of has to do most of the work himself. Doesn't have like a slow or a stun to bring to the table. But at the very least, Matu will be finding excellent farm down here. XXS isn't doing too bad though.
Yeah, but mid lane you mentioned, Mickey is owning. 38-12 versus Ori's 23-1. So Mickey with the huge advantage as bottom lane. Insania getting gone on for the time being, but basically out of mana at this point. But 3 mangoes there for Moss if he wants to feed his support a bit.
Yeah, it is actually kind of tricky for the NS when you look at it. There's both the Orb of Venom on the Naga and the Boars. When the Boars hit level 3 here in a second, this slow is going to be pretty substantial. Struggle to play as aggressively as he would like. Loving this from Mickey though, in the mid lane, getting half the tower, playing very aggressively with his siege creep wave. Could even choose to glyph it here and just squeeze as much out of this as possible, but we'll choose not to.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
We do have the Crystal Maiden setting up, so Ori hitting level 6 from this wave. Pichu is in the neighborhood in case an opportunity opens up, but looks like not the case, so we'll just back off, cover at that angle.
This'll come in handy.
And in the meantime, Money is just having the time of his life top, just running at Zai. Look at that damage with the multi-shot. Zai now down to 200 health. This, I think, I dare say, might be Zai's lowest net worth this tournament, minute 7.
Yeah, Pango versus these long-range heroes. Any hero that can orb block is a pain for this hero.
1,600 net worth on Pango to the 2,800 of Beast, so 1,000 net worth difference between the offlaners. And Zai's just not being given any space. He buys a Ring of Health to try to sustain, but he's almost going to get killed off by the Crystal Maiden here.
Yeah.
Has to back off once again, and it's tricky now for Boxy as well, right? Because where do you go as Tusk? It's hard to gank mid against the Primal. If he has any vision, he can get away with this onslaught.
Bottom lane, we're going to see the Tombstone come out with the Void, but XXS can just TP away, knowing that the Void is on cooldown.
Radiant's
Tombstone used as well, pretty long cooldown.
Yeah, but still, Matu farming extremely well, and kind of items that we're expecting here from early on. He's going to get, he has the phase boots, going for the armlet. He had the Helm of the Iron Will very early, so he can turn that into the armlet soon. Pulverize onto Insania, trample to follow. Soul Rip's not going to be nearly enough to heal him out of that. And top lane, again, the aggression coming out from Monet. The multi-shot has been owning. Boxy gets off the health salve. It's going to get canceled, but can he get out of this? He pops another one, it looks like. He's still going to live. And Zai is there.
Yeah.
Exists.
That's Pango this game so far.
I mean, is there any consideration? I mean, I know it's elimination game, but to give Boxy some farm and have like kind of a transition into core?
I think that ship has almost sailed. It's 8 minutes in and he has no net worth. So his recovery curve is way too hard, right? He has the lowest net worth in the game.
Oh, nice LSA. Pulverize came in, or Ori still has the Pulverize available. Looks like this is going to be a kill, but the Laguna Blade comes out onto Ori. That is enough to turn this around as Liquid TP in spades. Double kill from Matu. LSA connects onto the high ground. Ice Shards are there as well. And 3 kills in the name of Liquid.
Great punish. Also at the same time felt a little bit forced. I think Ori didn't have enough mana to go for the combo he wanted to. Monet threatening Zai here, will lose vision in the fog and try to chase.
He has been on 10% HP the entire game, it feels like.
Yep.
But Liquid, like you said, in the other 2 lanes, pretty damn good. They get the tier 1 mid as well. And still, with another minute to go on the nighttime for Matsu.
Matsu did get involved with the ult, so once nighttime ends, he will not have that to work with. But with this natural night still happening, he might go for the dive here onto Monet.
Yeah, they're going for it. Monet was slowed initially by 1 zombie, gets a nice multi-shot off. He's going to be stuck by the Ice Shards now. Swashbuckle from Zai to try to get some form of revenge. And Monet falls as Liquid finding tons of kills on the map now.
It's gonna loosen their bot tower. XXS with the Helm of the Dominator will push this tower minute 9, but if Liquid can get this trade top, I think they're pretty happy with this. Like, given how terrible Zai's lane is, he's found his level 6. They bring this down as well. Starting to stabilize a little bit more. And as for Matsu's build, I think you go Armlet. He's getting the Shard, which is just a given here against Beastmaster. Probably just BKB after, right? I don't think there's any reason to buy Ags when the Naga is support.
That's true.
You'd rather get some marketing single target
initiation on a Mickey. Snowball comes in from Boxy, but Mickey taking the brunt of the damage from these illusions. Gets off the Laguna Blade though. Man fight versus Ori, but looks like he's resigned to his death here. LSA not able to connect as Mickey drops to XXS in the end. Zai's rolling thunder, not doing a ton here. He's gonna be able to snag the Invis rune at the very least. But we got the onslaught coming in, but no vision. Although Zai will get clipped a bit by the trample.
Yeah.
Now they know there's no
showing up
there
with the Hurricane. Pushed back into Lina for the kill. And they're going to turn this into a tower push. So this is kind of scary times for Liquid. You don't have Dark Ascension for 10 seconds, but at least you have the Glyph. Maybe it's enough to hold this tower. Zai obviously has the Invis rune, which is something they also have to be wary of. They know he has it. He could be anywhere right now. That's how Invis works.
Thank you.
And he's actually going to... Oh, that's an Observer Ward. Never mind. He's not going to respond. We get some important information that Liquid could act on here. Still no Rolling Thunder, and now he's showing. Roar was faked out.
Yep, gets the swash and shield crash off. He's playing very cocky right now, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of his team is in the area. But XXS is quite tanky, going for the Wraith Pact, of course, after the Helm.
Yeah, maybe you just don't go Helm of the Overlord at all.
Because he can eat it?
Because of NS. Like, maybe it's not worth it.
It's only half the time.
It's a lot of the time. And when you enter a team fight, you don't have Ancients nearby, right? So you bring your Ancient, he eats it, and then... And even if you're using it to split push, you're essentially just funneling in a lot of gold into NS. So I feel like we've seen this before when Night Stalker offlane started becoming a pseudo counter to Beast, that Beastmaster would just bypass Overlord because you're kind of just giving too much over.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this approach. You still want the Dom because it just does that much this early in the game, but don't spend too much net worth on just getting creeps eaten.
Ori on the other side of the Ice Shards. Nicely done from him. But we can see the CM here as Matu able to get the 4-shot off. It's a lot of damage coming out from Dark Ascension.
Maiden, but that's Dark Ascension. I think he was hoping to get a bigger kill on the Primal Beast there, but Boxy's charge just barely too short, not clipping. What a weird net worth distribution this is. Liquid easily have the top 2, and then they easily have 6th. It's which isn't too unhealthy for their lineup, to be honest. If there's a hero in this game that can have low net worth and still find major impact, it kind of is the Pangolier, right? So it's not a requirement for Zai to be farmed. Maybe he's going to go something like a Dagger and just try to find a good ult hero there, or at least eat the Roar for his Night Stalker, which is also really important. Yeah, very close for now.
We've seen games, I think it was at the Arlington Major, Night Stalker. It might have been, was it carry Night Stalker? Yeah, I think it was Saberlight playing, where you get the Shard, you get Midas every game, but it seems that has fallen off. Maybe a little too risky, being kind of pushed down by the likes of Beastmaster and Drought. But will be actually not going Shard first, has the Ogre Club right now.
So he will go BKB.
The Shard definitely adds a lot of farm.
Yeah, and he
for a hero that doesn't get
can't
much.
be adjusting to XXS not going Overlord because he wouldn't know that yet. So
true.
He just thinks the BKB is the better timing, wants to be able to fight sooner rather than later. And it is a mandatory item in NS carry this game. You can't play without it. He has to have it. Or it's going to get kited too hard.
I'm showing in the bot lane now is you can hear Ori going to town, but not going to connect onto Matu. But the TP is coming in, so Liquid want to defend. You can see the Troll Summoner out and about, got the rally skeletons ready to go. Actually, it's only one. It's a singular rally, not very powerful at all. But Matu defends successfully. And in terms of itemization for Mickey, looks like, yeah, I think they're trying to line up these BKBs on both him and Matu right now. Looks like he's already picked it up, actually. So we'll see if they fight a little early on, but Tier 1 tower might get denied. No, not even a chance here. So a freebie for Aster.
Beastmaster with a Troll Creep and 2 Boars. They don't need to risk anything by putting a hero in range of that tower. Just let the summons do it, stand back. And Boxy also doesn't really dare to commit onto killing the summons. First of all, he's terrible at it, but even if he were to try, he could die in a roar. So yeah, you just have to give that one up, but you can look for your own move. Liquid will try to find some sort of opening, and there might be a little bit of a false feeling of safety here with that Hawk finding nobody. Liquid know it's there though, because they have a sentry. But this could open up a potential play for them if they can somehow get the right vision. They see XXS on this board at the bottom Tier 1.
Zai.
But no way to invade.
Yeah, so it's just going to continue to be farm session here. As I should mention, Baboka, you did bring up the potential Aghanim Scepter. It is not a carry Naga, of course, but be able to get the ensnare on the Rolling Thunder. But I mean, it feels like Pango does go Shard every game anyway.
Yeah, then you ensnare the Night Stalker instead, which is
true,
mega high impact. So if he gets there on the Naga, it could be a game-deciding item. Usually support Nagas will not get this until pretty late, but given the map control that Aster have and the way they're playing, if they just keep pushing out these lanes with the Beastmaster, with the Primal Beast, and Naga gets to jungle like this, I mean, you get there eventually. He's been giving a lot of space. You can see Baboka is fully committed to the idea. He buys the Blade of Alacrity first.
Thought they were going to go for Monet, but instead they find Ori, who easily gets out thanks to his onslaught. So gank attempt from Liquid is thwarted.
That is That's a Dark Ascension. So...
Yeah, and it's a full 4 minutes until night. So Matu's going to be at a big disadvantage. And
right, Liquid are going to try to put it to use here.
Okay.
So
they're going to lose their tier 2 in all likelihood, but they can get this first Roche.
This is pretty much the biggest value they could get out of this NSO when it fails to connect.
Might be a contest. There's a smoke here from Aster. Zeiss is going to get off the Rolling Thunder. It's only been an illusion to start. Baboka looking for the song, but he's getting controlled. Will they be able to keep it at bay? They do. And Mickey gets the Aegis. The roar applied to Zai, but it's really just a delay tactic, it feels like. Gets a snare on top of this, but Monet Company still want to fight, but he's going to get Laguna bladed. Mickey pops the BKB, focusing on the CM, but down on the other side of the tree line, taking the right clicks. Looks like he's going to be the first to fall in this engagement. But Pango died on the other side, and now they're going to get the Night Stalker. Matu in a lot of trouble with the LSA's connecting. He's going to get saved as a result, or he's dead. Beautiful stun from Mickey. Centaur gets to stun on top of him now. And he's left to his own devices, completely surrounded. The Gust is there, multi-shot, and the axes. So Aster, they get some kills in retribution. Liquid taking the Aegis away in some respects from Aster.
Yeah, what a great fight from Matu that was. Just perfect armlet toggles, keeping him alive 2 times in a row. So at the very least, Liquid get out with him alive, but they do lose their Aegis and the second life on Lina, so can't really consider it a true win. At the very least, they don't need to worry about the Roche going Aster's way in the next minutes, but Aster, I think, still should be feeling pretty good about this overall exchange, considering the song didn't get them the Aegis contesting, and they roared the Pango, I should say, just to save the Naga, so they didn't have this for the Lina or for the NS, which also prompted Liquid to feel strong in this fight, right? But keep a look at Matu here. So first, the Pulverize here comes out. No follow-up damage is available. He's frostbitten. Is going to toggle out of this one with Monet's shot midair and the charge.
Yeah.
We're back to
another
live.
fight. Hold the horses here, Cinderin. Looks like Siamese Cat's going to be the first to fall. And now XXS is the one that's completely surrounded. So wrong territory for him. Matu gets credit for that one, and he is very close to a BKB.
Yeah, that was a killing spree. So some extra gold on that one for NS. 100 gold to go.
Still another 2 minutes in the nighttime. So he should have his BKB in his inventory with nighttime still here.
Yeah.
If Liquid want to try to take advantage. Of course, still has Dark Ascension. And does have the Shard, by the way, so has been eating creeps. So I guess he went for the casual Ogre Axe into Shard, and now is finishing BKB.
Yeah. I guess he changed his idea, changed his mind halfway. Seems like a little bit of a weird way to do it, but...
Well, that Ogre Club, it seemed to save him in that last fight.
I guess so.
Extra HP is pretty nice.
Oh, XXS close to connecting the roar there, but not quite.
Locked out, but yeah, Liquid not wanting to engage, it looks like. Very even game. And Aster showing some balls. I mean, they fought despite not getting the Aegis.
Yeah,
not
and
having
throwing the roar and the Pango, yeah.
Yeah, no roar as well.
But sometimes, even with key cooldowns in Dota, if you have the right angle and you get to take the initiative, it can work. And I don't know if you would consider that fight successful for either team. It was kind of a draw, but you could see where Aster were coming from. The fact that Pango roll is down is very important for especially the Primal Beast, who now has BKB. So the next fight will be of a totally different nature coming out from Ori. Liquid might choose to smoke here. They are grouping up 4, they will. Aster in a strong offensive position down here, pushing the tower with Ori in front. They have the ward covering the back angle. And they're going to expect Liquid to do this because of the no heroes on the map. They have the prediction that this play is coming. Liquid do have Dark Ascension, though.
His smoke gets popped. He's going to pop Dark Ascension, but he's the focus. He's going to get roared inside his BKB, so he mitigates a ton of this damage. Now XXS is the one stuck basically on this cliff area. He's going to get right-clicked down quite easily. A nice kill to start things out for Liquid. Zai on the other side here is Laguna Blade's going to find Siamese Cat, so just like that, it's 5v3. Now Mickey pops his BKB, Ori kind of the no man's land. His team still has Song available if they need to pop it. They will. Mickey, his BKB runs out, and the rest of Aster are going to be able to walk away, it looks like.
Outstanding fight from Liquid there. The BKB usage was just perfect, right? Matu gets it off before he gets roared, and Ori thought he was going to connect on the roar outside of BKB, so he committed all his stuff to go in on the Beastmaster, or sorry, on the Night Stalker, together with Beastmaster. That play fails. Then Beastmaster's isolated and gets killed. Pango, in the meantime, is completely cutting off Drow from the entire fight for like 10 seconds. We're going to see the replay here. So look at this. This BKB crucial, right? Otherwise, Ori plus XXS and the Drow probably just kill off Matu, but he stays alive. And now Pango on the bottom right is just rolling Drow out of the picture, quite literally, the entire fight until he finally gets to turn around. Now the fight's already over. This play was kind of crazy from Ori.
Yeah.
I don't know if he accounted for if he thought Mickey had used BKB. It turns into a BKB trade in the end, which isn't all the worst for him, but yeah.
2K lead now for Team Liquid. And the Aghanim Scepter for Baboka almost there. 80 gold away, and he'll be able to ensnare the Rolling Thunder, as we've said. And of course, more importantly, he'll be able to reel in enemies, Cinderin.
Yeah, we haven't seen that used very much.
And if we have, we've forgotten about it. I like the concept, but it definitely needs...
It has not been very favored to do in the song.
Yes. I mean, other than that, the axe is great. Like, we're going to see here very shortly why that is.
Yeah, so Zai is not buying the shard that Toby talked about as kind of a pseudo counter to ensnare Axe, but he's going Lotus, which is another way of solving it. Doesn't have it yet though, so this coming fight could be a big surprise factor for Zai, where he's relying on going in on the Drow. If he gets ensnared and Drow gets to focus him for a few seconds, he dies. The fight's going to be of a totally different nature than the last one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the downside of Lotus, is it's way more expensive than Shard, obviously, and he is pretty far away.
The upside is he can use it on NS if he gets ensnared.
True.
So that is a pretty big help.
He'll get both, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah.
As he's actually had to use a tome for himself. That just shows how rough of a game it has been for Zai. As the tier 2 tower is going to go down one way or another as the tombstone is placed. Pulverize coming in from Ori, pretty much full duration here on Insania, but he's more than healthy enough to continue to fight, as now Ori is stuck in no man's land. Laguna's Blade, down he goes as Zai going in with the Rolling Thunder, now applying all the pressure to XXS. He's going to get disarmed for the time being. This is looking like 3 kills very easily for Liquid. Song was available, but still BKBs were up.
I think
Baboka, he might still have to use it here.
It only just came up toward the end of that. He didn't have it to save Ori. I think he could have maybe BKB TP'd out, but I guess maybe Tusk was in range for a punch. But yeah, these engages from Ori have just not worked out the way he wanted it to. He's charging up the onslaught, and the moment he does that, Insania drops the tombstone before he gets jumped, and the follow-up damage just wasn't there anyways. They didn't even kill the Undying to start off the fight, and Liquid make a very easy fight out of that one.
Liquid with a lot of fans here, obviously, now gaining some momentum in this crucial game number 3. Getting this tier 1 tower, but it looks like Aster wants to try to defend.
They're too late.
They are. Tower falls. Now we have a Silver Edge on Mickey.
At the same time, Drow gets BKB, so Aster now have another tool against the Pango roll that's been ruining Mone's game so far. Now he can reliably get some damage off.
Got everything off. Yeah. Flicking ulti. They need to get the fuck out. He's gonna TP out on Primal too. Oh, he has no. I'm running it. I'm running it. Primal. TP, I'm killing Primal. Look on there. Yeah. Looking at fly. Kill 2 boys. Look on the beast. Running. I'm killing CM. CM dead to me. Still running in.
They almost seemed surprised that he was there. It's like, oh, there's a Primal Beast here all alone. Okay, we'll take it. Interesting build from Matu. After the BKB armlet, now has a Basher, but not opting for a Blink Dagger or anything like that. Instead, going for a Nullifier. Very cool item.
Yeah, is a good way for him to counter off the Pike from Zara if she doesn't have the BKB. Not much else to nullify for now, right?
I mean, if you get it off before the BKB doesn't do anything anyway.
Yeah.
It remains.
I wonder if...
But I feel like Blink Dagger at some point is going to be pretty important for him. But into the Roach Pit, Liquid go. And yeah, Aster have an idea this is happening. They're going to smoke up. Is it going to be too late? No, it's at half HP right now. The Rolling Thunder coming in, mostly on illusions. He's going to get roared right off the bat. They're focusing on the pit now. No Song to come as Mickey gets the Aegis. Song a little bit late. Is there a shard on the ground? There is. Baboka steals the shard. As here comes the onslaught. Looks like the focus is on the Tusk to start this out. The Naga's going to be the trade, so it's a 1-for-1. Matu wants to fight, but a big multi-shot coming from Monet, but a bigger BKB from Matu. And now they're going to get triple kill for Mickey. Aster Aster are dropping like flies. Ori has to BKB. Onslaught to safety. Looks like he's fine. But Liquid coming out on top again in this fight.
Yeah, these Roche calls they've made so far in this game have been absolutely perfect. Again, Zai with the coverage against the Naga rotating in and getting the song off. And it took them quite a while to kill Zai during the Roar as well, because he has the armor of Lotus Orb instead of the Shard. Makes him a lot tankier against the Drow. So you're going to see the replay here. Pretty much same situation as earlier in the game. The exact same spot, same logic. Song too late. He's like, wait, there's a Shard. So they'll go and grab that.
And he consumed it, by the way. We're going to need to see what the other shards are in this game. I mean, there's a Beastmaster shard that he has not purchased in there. I don't know about that auto-consumption. Song healing is...
It is good.
Definitely, it's not bad, but it's one of the weaker ones on their teams for sure. Yeah, that's very surprising. That he
I wonder which the best one is. Like, maybe Drow? I don't know. It's maybe Drow or Primal Beast would have been good.
I think Beastmasters is the best by far, surely. The diving bombs or whatever.
Yeah, the thing about dive bomb being a root, right? They already have the Lotus, which I believe counters it if BKBs. So I'm not sure if that does enough compared to the other ones, but either way, they now have a song that heals.
They could have had Rock Throw, for God's sake.
Yeah, I think the Rock Throw could have also been good this game.
I mean, in the pit, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's also amazing for Ori because it gives him a reliable cue that he can go in. Like, if he hits a Rock Throw on, let's say, the Night Stalker, perhaps he has the confidence to get a charge that is going to connect, right?
Yeah.
Which has been a problem for him so far in this game, is going in and actually accomplishing something with this Onslaught, which Liquid have covered really well. They're now going to take the top tier 2, building their lead to now 7,000. With Aegis in the hands of Lina for another 2.5 minutes. You would imagine they want to go and get the mid tower as well.
Yeah, most likely. Wraith Pact almost online for Boxy. And Matu switched it up. Unfortunately, won't be seeing Nullify. He's going for the AC, which not only makes him tankier and a little bit more right-clicky, but pushing towers is going to be even easier.
Yep.
And for the side of Aster, what are the items that they're waiting for? It looks like for XXS, the BKB is still not there. About 1,000 away from finishing that, but it looks like they're going to smoke into this Aegis. Maybe this will catch Liquid off of guard here. Hawk giving a little bit of vision. Boxy in the area. Not going to pop smokes initially, though.
Liquid kind of know this is happening. They break the illusions here.
Yep. And smoke just pops there. Evoca with the instant ensnare. Wants to get off the song, but won't need to. They'll just walk away casually, dewarding. Still a little less than 2 minutes on this Aegis.
Yeah. Do they want to use it, though? There's no repositioning from Aster, so you can go and hit this tower with Lina, knowing that the Aegis will be sufficient coverage. Like, you're not going to get swapped into base and killed there and die again, for example. So
there's no Vengeful Spirit in the game? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, that's one of the displacement spells, Shannon. There's more than that.
That's true.
There's no Marcy.
There's no Pudge anymore.
No Pudge.
Sadly.
Yeah. Starting to look better and better for Liquid. Mickey is now solo pushing bottom tier 2. Super confident here.
Yeah.
Knowing where Aster are. We'll grab this tower.
They're reading the situation very, very right. So tier 2 dead, and Mickey can now, poke into tier 3 a little bit if he wants.
He does.
Now that his teammates are arriving. We see the win probability right now, 77% for Team Liquid in this game number 3.
Guess what? It was 81 for Aster earlier.
Wow, really?
At minute 15. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I looked at it. Like, I don't
81?
know if I don't know if
I mean, they were winning, but it wasn't until 80-20. That's wow. Surprising. So yeah, the Aegis looks like it's just going to be expiring the old-fashioned way. And is that because they just didn't have enough time? Is it literally nighttime related? Perhaps?
I don't know. I do feel like they could have put this a bit more to use, to be honest. I think there was a way for Mickey to push out a little bit more, but like you said, nighttime might be a concern. And also, if you're feeling in a pretty good control of the game, this is maybe the one way you give Aster a big comeback, is setting them up for a successful kill in their base into song and more kills, so when you try to escape. This way you can just keep controlling the map. You're closing in on the AC on Night Stalker as well, so that's going to be a part of the next fight. He's coming out now, as a matter of fact. So yeah, they're just keeping it cool. It's obviously a huge moment for them. This is for top 3 at TI.
Yep.
Don't want to mess it up.
Well, the time
has been given out for XXS to at least finish his BKB. He's about to get that as Matu's AC gets delivered as well. So some potential power spikes coming out. I mean, a fresh BKB, pretty important, but it is a Beastmaster.
Yeah, not sure how impactful this is really going to be. It feels like he's been able to get his roar off the last fights anyway. So I don't really know if this is going to be very noticeable compared to the Night Stalker AC, which is definitely a big bump up in strength for Team Liquid.
Scan coming out, it's gonna miss, but onto the high ground they go. Siamese Cat is completely isolated now. He gets destroyed inside with a huge rolling thunder onto 2, forcing the BKB from Monet, as it looks like Baboka will be the sacrifice. So 2 quick kills for Liquid. Tombstone has been expended along with the Dark Ascension. And now the high ground they go. Both supports for Aster have buyback. Here comes the pulverized BKB from Ori. Instant roar, but there's the Lotus Orb reapplying it. And now the BKB from Matu, able to walk away from the song relatively easily, but actually stuck inside here. He gets reeled in to the high ground. I never thought I'd see it. It proved nothing. It didn't even matter, Cinderin. Mickey. He's gonna right click a bit onto the tower, but now that the reel-in is down, there's nothing to fear for Liquid. In a 5v4 situation, Zai with the basher, so the swashbuckle becoming much more fearsome.
I wonder if he's going to go for Axe next just to ramp up on that, or if he will get another defensive item like Linken's. But yeah, another huge moment for Liquid. Dieback on Naga. They lost absolutely nothing there, Liquid did, right? Nope, nothing at all. And now they're, again, with the map position they have and the amazing warding they have, they're in a really good spot to maybe get the next Roche. You see this roll from Zai, just forcing the whole situation. Has to BKB on Mane, and that means he won't have that in the follow-up fight here as Naga returns to the fight.
I was hoping we get a replay of the reel-in, if I'm being honest. Really hype. Good initiation from Ori, though. And
they just don't have enough damage. He's too tanky.
Indeed.
Drow is not quite there yet.
Wait, reel in, wait. There it is! Unbelievable! And then he dies. Very dangerous fish to reel in, no doubt about it. As like you said, Roche is probably next on the list here for Liquid if they can continue to have this map control. We won't know for another 10 seconds when it spawns. As now Matu is eyeing the nullifier. Is it just for the Hurricane Pipe? Oh, there's also a Ghost Scepter on Siamese Cat. Yep. I don't think there's any Yules though. But still, pretty big counters to both those items. And it's going to be a relatively late Roche.
Nikke is so insanely farmed. I just realized he's 150 CS ahead of the next hero in the game.
And he seems to have a double damage quite often this game.
Ori will clean up the wave, still be forced to glyph though.
Yeah.
This should not be underestimated how much this could end up meaning later. Because the Roche will be falling likely before this glyph comes back up, whichever team gets it. And if that is Liquid, that basically opens up for a free tier 3. They'll obviously get another glyph after that, but this Radiant lineup kills towers really fast if Lino gets to just stand and deliver.
Indeed. But Aster,
push up mid.
They want to aggress. They're going to find Insania, the instant pulverized gust to follow, but the rolling thunder is coming in. Insania is going to live. Now the roar on top of Zai. They're right-clicking him very easily, but XXS is taking damage as well. So it's a 1-for-1 in terms of the position 3s, but they lose the Primal Beast as well. And no buyback here for Aster as they're left with 3 members. And still 50 seconds on Roche, so Aster will technically, in fact, everyone will be up.
Such an awkward situation to play as Naga Siren there as well, right? What do? Do you use Song to try to save your Beastmaster with the heal? Then you're also saving the enemy Pango. So, or actually, no, he could have Songed, right? He was in roll. I actually think Baboka maybe with the heal would have made the difference, but he was holding on to it.
Yeah, Matu ends up getting the tower here, getting kited a bit as the Linken's applied, but you can see Mikke is the real right clicker here. Fortifications popped.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And they're going to reset. They're not even, they're not going to go for the melee. Don't want to overextend. And Roche will be up in 10.
And they do have Natural Night for 4 minutes, so Night Stalker is still very powerful despite not having Ascension. Matu can still do.
Oh, nice Ice Shards. Here comes the initiation. Oh, instant snowball actually ruins it for Ori. But he gets the pulverize off after the BKB. Getting kited to a high degree here, but LSA not going to connect as Matu. Continue the pressure as Zai gets off the Rolling Thunder, and Ori left to his own devices. 1 minute of no Primal Beast. XSS takes
the Laguna Blade and takes another death to his name. 5 versus 3. They're going to get the melee racks and likely go for Roche after, although there are no creeps here, so the backdoor protection is enabled.
The wave is coming now, though, so easily going to get the first lane. The question is, are they going to stop there? Mickey is insanely farmed. He's so far ahead. 10K over the Drow.
Now they're going for the second set.
Yes.
Yep, they know that these buybacks are long cooldowns. That's 2 sets, and they probably still have time to go get Roche. Of course, they do have to be careful. We've seen the song come into play, and it's going to be up in 6 seconds.
Yeah, Matu does not want to go home today. Could have been his last game, but he's 10-0 and 11 on the Night Stalker that his coach said he can't play. So kind of making a point that he can play whatever you damn want.
That's right, and they're in the Roche pit, and Roche has the Aghanim Scepter, which I hope it's on Matu. For the love of God, please.
It will probably be on Mickey.
Damn it. Wait.
It was on currently Zai. Okay, yeah, they want the extra fast chance.
Okay, fair enough.
Also good.
Very good Ags.
We're discussing him buying it himself. Now he just gets it for free.
And look at that, he's top 3 net worth now. Would you look at that, Cinder? And after that rough start, all it takes is some Roches.
He had a great start. No surprise to see him on 3rd here.
And Aster left to be kind of in defense mode, but the longer they're in defense mode, the bigger the deficit becomes. 32K lead for Liquid as they're on the doorstep of securing themselves top 3 here. And that's going to lead to, potentially, if this happens, 3 EU teams left at TI11. And we have Mickey. Oh, the Lincolns is already procced, but there's the instant Walrus punch. Nicely done from Boxy. Huge rolling thunder. Down goes Primal Beast again. Baboka's song gives them a little bit of space, but he's getting controlled now. The rolling thunder continuing to proc, and he's dead as well. And now the focus is onto the Drow Ranger. No bash this time around, but Matu finds what he needs. Buyback now into the Drow. Snowball coming in. Walrus punch to follow. How much do they want to dive here? Freezy Field gets canceled. CM has to buy back into the game. Ice Shards, not enough to keep them outside the fountain, so Liquid forcing themselves to go for the mega creeps. And Liquid looking extremely, extremely good. And we talked about the momentum from the last 5 days. It has definitely continued here today. And on to the throw, and GG is called. Team Liquid move on. Aster eliminated from TI11.
Yeah, we had no idea what to expect out of this game. Some very different drafts. Baboka on Naga, we have Matu on Night Stalker. But the constant that has been working for Liquid so well in the playoffs, Mickey on the Lina again with an outstanding performance. Insane farm, insane damage, output, lane push, the whole shenanigans. He did an amazing job this game. Liquid can be so proud. Top 3 secured. They will know who they're playing against after the next series coming up later today, but I feel like no matter who loses that one, it's hard to call them a favorite at this point.
I was gonna
really scared.
The momentum, we've seen it so many TIs. I mentioned it earlier. This is a team you do not want to play against right now. You could put Night Stalker position 1 for God's sake, and it worked out here for Liquid. Let's go to the panel and see what they have to say about Matu and the rest of Liquid's performance.
Thank you very much, Sunsfan and Cinder. And indeed, Matu's career continues for a little bit longer, and they are making it to the final day. We'll see them, of course, again tomorrow. We're going to talk about this game. We're going to get a chance to talk to the winners as well. I'm here with Jenkins, Effie, and Lacoste. And there's a lot to break down in this game, because we know that Blitz at the end of the draft was like, how'd you get Night Stalker? Well, we just asked Matu which hero he would like to play last, Jenkins. And it was Night Stalker that he has not played at a TA game before.
Yeah, he had a flawless game on a stupid hero. I'm just going to put it out there. He was just trying to have a good time, try to have fun. It clearly worked. I'm kind of thinking that next year at TI, perhaps the meta, instead of Yatoro with the bald meta, retirement might be the meta coming out, because Matu's performance in this game was absolutely amazing. I mean, I think all of Liquid stepped up. Like in every single fight, Zai was jumping to backlines with his role. We saw twice he saved the Roshan. Insania, of course, he's probably the one making the Roshan calls, as we heard in the True site. Mickey, he functioned as the true carry this game, even though there was a flawless game from Matu. And Boxy, he's playing his Tusk. Like, the guy had some insane shards this game, just like he has in other games.
Absolutely. Like, the front line of Team Liquid in these games, like positioning, understanding who needs to soak up the damage, whether it's a Night Stalker with using the BKB, getting roared, and then Pangolier has a free pathing in the back lines. Like, ASTER just did not have enough damage that goes through BKBs. Once they pop their BKBs, ASTER runs, and they're already man down, maybe even 2 man down, and it makes the fight so very difficult. And I think the big key important here is also having vision advantage. You do have Night Stalker, you do have Tombstone, fighting underneath the ward so many times, and Matu, as we see him, you know, clapping for himself, keeping his dream alive.
And genuinely, it was such a great Night Stalker pick. It fit the game so well. You have this Lina from the mid lane who's going to need protection, who can dish out the damage, but is very susceptible to dying in this early game. And Liquid played around Mike on his Lina so well. They were reacting to those early game rotations so nicely. And because this Night Stalker went for that early game build with the armlet, all of a sudden they had this hero to play around from the safe lane while the Lina farmed up. And they just had the late game security of this Lina outscaling potentially anybody on ASTER's draft. Also, Jenkins did mention this, but the Pangolier did so much in these teamfights and protecting objectives. Like camping the Pangolier near the stairs, near Roshan, because that's where Naga walks down from to try to steal it, is just so good. It worked out twice in one game.
And that is with Zai having a very, very bad game. And we have obviously last week heard Blitz do a speech a couple times, but what's better than the speech from Matu?
I mean, guys, no matter what happens today, we win and lose as a team. No matter who the fuck fucks up or anything, we're gonna win and lose together, yeah?
It's very wholesome, and they won together with that as well. So congratulations once again. And I would also love to hear a little bit more from our winning team, which is why Avo is standing by with Insania.
Thank you, Shiva. I'm here with Insania. What a series of games. You guys take every game to the third one. Are you just doing this so Matoman can play as many games as possible?
I mean, I wish it was intentional. It's not. I think they had a really good drafting game too, and the Sunday night kind of caught us off guard, I think, and we didn't really have a nice answer to it. So they really got us in game 2. It was nothing intentional there. And they're a tough team, you know, like it comes down to very small margins, and I think they really got us there.
In the first game, you guys managed to beat the sniper pick as well, which was a big thorn in the side for a while. Was that a bit of a morale boost for you guys? Did you come in confidently against that pick?
I think game 1 went a lot according to plan. Maybe not gameplay-wise. I think having the 5-day break, we were kind of a little bit nervous, I think, when we started playing the game, but like halfway through the game, we got comfortable again. And you remembered, like, it's the same event we've been playing the entire way.
Right.
So yeah, no, game 1 went pretty well, I think. Yeah, Sniper, I don't know, it's a good hero, but I think we had good answers to it.
And finally, Matu, with the last pick, the Night Stalker, a new pick for him at TI. Was that a little bit of a pocket pick you had prepared in these final days, or spur of the moment kind of thing?
I'm trying to think if we actually did scrim it during these days. I'm not sure, but he's been playing it for a while. Like, he played it back when there was like this big puck meta. He would play it mid. So it's not a new hero for him, per se. But it's also kind of funny. Blitz said, like, Matu, what do you want your last hero at TI to be? And we're like, what are you saying? And Matu's like, this is not going to be my last hero, and then he picks NS.
Well, we're gonna thank you for the interview, Insania. A pleasure. Congratulations once again. I'm gonna go back to the panel to analyze that game.
This is not going to be my last hero. The confidence, that's good stuff coming from Insania there. Yeah, Team Liquid moving forward. I feel like we have to talk a little bit more about Team ASTER as well, because eliminated from TI before the final day, our final team coming out of the region, China. Because you mentioned it earlier, it's not been done.
Yeah, since TI3, that was the last time China did not have a team in top 3, and this is going to be their, like, TI as well. But ASTER had a great performance. Like this whole year, you know, they were not able to go to the lands at the start, but once they show up at LAN, their performance is really good. Like, and they also show that you know, PSG LGD, they can beat them, they can eliminate them from TI, and you know, competition is their proud region, no doubt about it. And I think we got to give credit to all of these players. We have like Pichu, Sammy's Cat, up and coming player that showed up TI and
first TI
carried really hard for position 5 as well.
Yeah.
And XXS, I cannot emphasize enough how much this player does for his team. He is such a clutch player. He's not just the playmaker, but he's the one who folds least under pressure. I can recount so many times where things look bad for ASTER, but then he just comes out with these big black holes or these big arenas. So just having someone like that on your team who can bring things together for you is so important. And of course, Ori, who we mentioned, he really just pieced together the team. I think ASTER should be really proud of their performance. I remember in an interview, Monet said that once they were at Arlington and they heard the crowd cheer for the first time in a very long time, it just re-energized them and it gave them the excitement and the motivation to just play well. So I really hope that they can hold their heads up high and be satisfied with the results they got today.
Yep, XXS and Baboka. I just hope we get to see them together again next year. The greatest bubbies in Dota 2 history. I think they're #1 for played of all time. Or is that for teams that still exist? Because I know there's, you know, Dendy and Puppy, and I think maybe they're like 3rd of all time or something like that.
I know that they surpassed Fly and No Tail at some point, because I know that
I think they are #1. I think
they're doing really well together.
At the very least, for the teams that still exist, people that are not retired, like these guys are the greatest of friends, and I'm happy to see that they still have the synergy after all of these years. They've got some, you know, young up-and-comer in their team that's, you know, giving them the energy. They've got the coach who's played 9 TIs. This is the 10th TI. And yeah, I have high hopes for them next year because they finally broke the curse. And this is the first year that we're seeing them break the curse. Usually it's some LGD at this point, and ASTER is the team that loses, you know, maybe 7th or 8th. We'd be impressed by them. But next year, I think there's good things for this team coming.
Yeah, this is already a better result than they've had so far. Monet, of course, he did come 3rd earlier, but the rest is top 6 max, or as you heard from my panel, Pichu, this is the first TI he's played at.
4th place? That's amazing.
4th place is insane. Lanham, his highest position as a coach. He did come 2nd at TI1, but you know, it's a pretty formidable team, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do next year. But first, I'm looking forward to hearing some final words from them as Avo is standing by with Baboka.
Thank you. Here with Baboka, and you guys, for Team ASTER, there's been a big redemption year, especially in comparison to last year. We've seen an incredible improvement for you guys, both in majors and TI. How has this journey been for you guys? How do you feel about all the effort you managed to put in and seeing the fruits of your labor finally flourish?
ASTER 在这一年当中有很大的进步，无论是打 Major 还是本次 TI。然后在这一年的努力当中，看到现在这种成果，你觉得自己的付出有成果了吗？
我觉得我们整个这个队 ASTER 都尽力了吧，但是我们就还是差点吧，就是我们就没怎么经历过这种比较激烈的时候吧，就是还是有点太急躁了。
I think as a team, ASTER tried our best, but as a team, we lacked experience and we didn't play to our fullest.
Is there anything you'd like to say to all the fans that have supported you throughout the year and will continue to support you after this TI performance?
有没有任何话想跟一直以来支持你们的粉丝说，然后本次 TI 支持你们的粉丝？
这只能抱歉了呀，感觉是有希望的，就因为自己的没打好，还有我们对整个的运营就没打好嘛，就反正是有机会的，说声抱歉吧。
All I can say is apologies. We could have done it. We had the chance, but we didn't play to our fullest. So all I can say is sorry, apologies.
We're gonna go now back to the panel.
Well, I don't think ASTER has anything to apologize for. As we have highlighted, this is Still top 4 TI, a very, very good result, something to be proud of for sure. We are, of course, moving forward without ASTER. We've got 3 teams left remaining, and those 3 will stay until the end of the day. No more eliminations. This was our only one that we eliminated today, so you know it's always a painful moment, but it has to happen. But it's a good thing that we are one step closer to crowning a champion, and we are going to be having a little bit of a relief, of a breather, with our Dota 2 historian, Pyrian Flax.
I read more twists. How did they get the recipe? I don't even have that one in the archives. Ah, a welcome appearance and impeccable timing. A fresh import from our old friends Sithel and Quirt. Now they're engaged in a triumphant revival with something called the Candy Works. By all means, sample the fare. Oh my, could it be? But it is, here in my archives. Greevil Taffy. Exceedingly, no, astonishingly, cosmically rare. It would have to be. Can you imagine the nightmare of maintaining a healthy supply of Greevils? Records suggest only Roshan even likes the stuff, but I've also heard a different tale, that Roshan's not the only Dota beast beset by a craving for... So, how about it, pro players? Remember when you first played Diatide?
All I can say, like, the first Diatide was kind of epic. I feel like that was like the best mode ever released.
It was like 2013, 2014. These events I used to have like play with a lot of friends, and I used to look forward to the holidays because there would be some cool event that comes.
It's also might be good at team building. Good.
Was that? No, the very idea is absurd. Technical difficulties strike even the best of us. A coincidence of little concern. Bring on the next dapper guest, one who surely remembers when.
可以跟自己的一些好朋友去参加，或者也可以跟一些。
Oh, bollocks, that's right. Where there's Greevil Taffy, there's Greevils. They'll ruin everything. Diatide. My archives. My Ascot. Wait a minute. The Greevils aren't a problem. They're an opportunity. With the Candyworks opening soon, there's money to be made. Riches beyond the meager touch of Midas. Think what I could do with all that coin. I could expand the archives. Even consider paying the help. They've angered Roshan. We'd best get out of here before he pulps our gravy train into useless bits. You there, intern. Saddle my fiercest penguin. Tonight, we ride for gold. We ride for Taffy. Punch Greevils. Destroy your enemies. Ride a penguin. Diatide is back.
Oh, you love to see it and you love to play it. Looking forward to that for sure. Looking forward also to the Dota 2 that is going to be played very soon. We're going to just close the book on the series we just watched and look a little bit ahead. We've got 3 teams remaining, Effie.
Yeah, and all 3 of these teams are from Western Europe. The top 3 teams at TI are the teams who, at this point, know each other the best. They've spent the entire year playing against each other in pubs, in scrims, and in LANs. And I think it's no surprise for me personally that the top 3 of this tournament are the ones who attended the most tournaments this year, as other regions weren't really able to get to some of the majors because of certain reasons.
They did also play like 2 teams at